all the wrong buttons and the wrong timings and all that. The music's still playing. I'm going to fade the music out professionally like this. Wow, what a perfect intro. Oh my goodness. Hit that like button for the intro there, everybody. We put a lot of work into that. Yes. Okay. Let's just get stuck in, shall we? Yes, everybody, and welcome to High on Homegrown, the cannabis podcast from percysgrowroom.com. I am Macky from the UK, and joining us this week, we have Billy Bonds.
Hello from Cornwall, and it's been bloody stormy here as well, like proper stormy, like 100-mile-an-hour wind stormy. So
Yeah,
like,
it's been
pretty
crazy,
bad.
the wind
Yeah.
here over the last week. God, it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
last 48 hours have been pretty mental. So yeah, hello from a stormy Cornwall.
That's right. We also have...
talking of us.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
You are finished.
my electric might cut out as well. Not that
Oh,
it will, because we live in stormy Cornwall, that could happen at any stage.
Damn. Yeah, the timing is always impeccable. Final day, but as soon as you go live on YouTube, it's like, oh, quick, turn that off.
Exactly.
You know how it is. Yeah, man. But yes, we also have John Colson. What's up, John?
Hey, guys. John here from Minnesota on a nice, sunny 30-degree day.
No,
pretty nice
what?
out today, actually.
No, you mean
Yeah.
30-degree Fahrenheit, right?
Yeah, Fahrenheit.
Right.
Sorry, everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
So
still cold.
0 to you?
Yeah. That's still fucked, mate. We're warmer than
But
that.
it was 20 below the other day, so I'll take this.
We're all thinking Celsius, so we're thinking, oh, the sun's out. Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
wow, 30, that's a lovely day. That's more Australia weather. You know what I'm saying?
And then he says Fahrenheit, and we're all confused again. And we're like, what's that mean?
Listen, I'm sorry.
Yes, man.
I got to be from America. That's what we use. Freedom units.
Indeed.
Baby.
Variety is the spice of life and all of that.
Yeah.
But yes, this week, Margaret is on holiday / vacation, depending on what you call it, wherever you are. So whatever she's up to, I hope she's having a great time. And she'll be back next week to tell us all about what she's been up to. Yes. So if you're listening, Margaret, hi. Hi, Margaret. I don't think she's listening, though. She's probably enjoying herself somewhere. But yes, you guys are listening. So while you are listening, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new and all that kind of YouTube stuff we have to say. But yes, this week we've got cannabis news and events, as we do every week. And for the Grow Guides, we're going to be talking about how you can make your own cannabis seeds. And not just make your own cannabis seeds, but make feminized cannabis seeds specifically. So stay tuned for that, because that's going to be a very informative episode. And if you make your own seeds, you're going to save a shitload of money. You're not going to have to buy loads. You can buy, but you're not forced to. You know what I mean? So it's an option for you. But anyway, some of these news stories we have. We try and avoid the bad ones, really. But it's really difficult to avoid bad news. So let's just find what we can. We have a crime gang turned a school into an industrial scale cannabis farm. I saw this article and I thought, it's such a nice, polite way of presenting the state this country is in right now. when schools are closing down and they're just being filled up with crime gangs. Yeah, fucking crazy. We also have 4 jailed for importing cannabis to Isle of Man on a fishing boat. Yeah, I thought this one was an interesting story as well. We'll take a look at that. Aurora, the cannabis firm, I'm sure we all know who Aurora are, have launched German internship program. So, trying to get people employed over there in the cannabis industry. Interesting. This is what a monopoly on the industry looks like. Bacteria and pesticides found in cannabis sold in Dutch coffee shops in the Netherlands. If any of you guys have been to Amsterdam, then this is the kind of stuff you smoke out there. And yes, bacteria, which I thought bacteria was everywhere, right? I mean, unless you just bleached a place. Bacteria is just a thing. You would find bacteria on weed, right? I'm asking you guys on the panel. I'm not just randomly saying.
Oh, right. What was you asking again, mate? Was you asking? I wasn't even listening. Was that boring?
No, I was on mute. My bad.
Okay.
Professional today. Something fierce. But,
yeah, bacteria is just on everything, isn't it? Yeah, it's on everything.
It's everywhere, man.
Yeah. So I'm not too concerned about the bacteria on weed thing. I mean, that's to be expected, I think, unless it's been irradiated.
It's how much, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So we don't mind about the bacteria bit, but yeah, there's pesticides on it. Yes. And for the last article there from John, we have new Washington bills would legalize home cannabis cultivation and allow producers to sell cannabis directly to consumers. Proper legalization, that is. Proper legalization. So yeah, some good news stories that we're going to be getting to there. We also have a couple of wheel spins to do to give away some seeds for those who entered Plant of the Month this month, and also some seeds that South City was giving away as well. So stay tuned in the smoke break for that bit, and we'll give away some beans. Nice. But yeah, that's all the news articles. And of course we have forum news as well. But anyway, we'll get into that when we get there. But yes. How's things, man? What other news is going on? Anything interesting out there?
Oh, boy.
Anything interesting and non-controversial out there? No? Okay,
No,
what we all smoking
no.
on?
I've got something to quickly talk about. I think we should say congratulations for Trump to letting Ross Albright, the Silk Road guy, because
Yes,
that's
well, congratulations
big thing.
to the guy who got released. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's fucked for him to be
Yeah,
locked up
yeah,
because he
totally.
had some ridiculous prison sentence as well. Didn't he have like fucking 50 years and locked up or some shit?
Yeah,
It's
basically his
crazy.
whole life he was looking to stay there forever and never to be
Mm-hmm.
paroled and all that malarkey. So yeah, it's
Mm-mm.
great that he's out with his family. He's done a small video statement, which is quite nice,
All right.
saying that he's going to come back once he's obviously got used to being free and like
Yeah.
say a load of shit. So yeah, it's gonna.
He'll be on
It seems
Rogan
like
pretty
he's.
soon, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, I think so. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think he'll come out and go on someone like that or Lex Friedman or someone. But yeah, he's going to come and tell us a load of shit. That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm looking
man.
forward to that.
Yeah.
Crazy. And just in case people don't know, that's the guy who was locked up for creating a website called Silk Road, where you could go to in the early days of the internet. You could go there and you could buy, you know, like hash.
Legacy.
Yeah, lots of controlled substances for Bitcoin
Yeah.
and different cryptocurrencies. And he was arrested for creating that website and got locked up. So, but now he's out.
You could also
So-
buy others. It's also a trading site for everything for like your PlayStation, stereos.
Yeah, but you know,
But most people
Amazon
used
sold
it,
books once. You know, it's
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Amazon sold a book once. Yeah,
you know.
yeah. So basically, that's what it was. But also, what it was the well controlled though. So everything was peer reviewed. So if you bought drugs off of someone, you'd be able to write a review and say whether they were legit or not. And then it was so peer led stuff like that works, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
the community protecting the community.
Yeah.
So that's why it worked. So they didn't like that. They
man.
don't like the community supplying the community.
It would have
'Cause we
been a good
don't
news article.
need
Maybe we'll
them.
try if we have enough time. We can try and get to that one at the end. We'll see if we got enough time to fit that one in, because we could have spoke about that. Good story, you
Yeah.
know, because it is cannabis related. But anyway, what are we smoking on this week? Have you got something nice, John? You said you were filtering something earlier.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was filtering some wash for more concentrates, so that's done. Now I got to distill that. As for
Nice,
smoking on, I'm smoking on some banana cake today.
nice. Does it taste
Yeah.
anything like banana cake?
No, I don't even know why it's named banana cake, to be honest with you. Cake part I can get, but the banana isn't there. It's a
Damn.
different sweet type fruity smell
Mm-hmm.
or flavor.
Yeah, I've got that with a few banana ones. I've grown 2 banana strains, and none of them have been that banana-y.
Yeah. No, I don't know where it comes from or where they say it comes from.
Right.
Yeah.
What you got there, Billy? You got something nice?
Yeah, I've got some cured stuff from my jars because I had still stuff left over which I didn't smoke from Christmas. So I had like 4 apes sort of in a jar, and
Okay.
one of them I'm smoking now is the Bongo bubble gum, which is proper nice.
Yeah, man. That's
I've
you
also
put
got
them
some
pics
hash,
on.
which I
Oh, yeah.
made. Yeah, that's the pic
Sweet.
I put on Discord earlier, the 4 jars.
Sweet.
So I've got some hash, one with hash and one without, so I'll get the flavour.
Nice.
So yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I've just got my same old shit weed, but it's not shit weed. I say that every time, you know, it's just the same old shit. But yeah, man, it's so delicious, so tasty. Just fired up in the mitre here. So yeah, everybody smoke up, you know, as you're supposed to do. Look at it, it's already on 9 minutes. We need to move on to the news pretty quick. Don't forget to hit the like
right.
button, everybody. Subscribe, share to friends, all that kind of stuff. You know, do what you can, but only if you
Get it
can.
out
We
there.
don't need to be getting in trouble and all that shit, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's always good to ask him to share again, though, right? I know I said that already once, but do it again, just in case we can get one extra share, you know. So that's enough for the intro. There, I think we're ready for the news. Are we ready? Should we do it?
Yeah, let's get on with it.
Let's go. For those who are not aware, the UK is a crime-infested shithole. It's not really. That was just saying things for entertainment value. It's a lovely place, really. Keir Starmer is a fantastic prime minister, and everybody's
Bullshit.
doing such a great job to keep the place afloat. Well done, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good job.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now. Chad, you getting me? You can't get us started in chat like that. It says, did you miss Macky's reaction to Trump releasing the assassination files for JFK, RFK, and MLK? You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
crazy.
will they actually be released? We'll see what happens. It's not done yet.
Yeah.
You know, I'll believe it when I see it up on a valid fucking website in full, ready for everybody to cover in
Right.
full detail. I'll believe it then.
And unredacted.
And that's it. That's what I says to the missus. It's like, yeah, they're going to release it, but it's going to be redacted. There's going to be black lines written all the way through it.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see JFK was rolling through Dealey Plaza. The end. That's what we're going to fucking see. You know? Well, yeah, that's a different topic altogether there, Chad.
Yeah.
Gosh, such a bad influence, bro.
Trying to get us flags, he is.
You know what I mean? Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, so as I said about the UK being such a lovely place, unfortunately, we have just a few criminals, and they have decided to take over an empty school and turn it into a cannabis grow farm. Yeah, so it's I'll read out the title here. This is from Wales Online. Crime gang turns school into industrial scale cannabis farm. I've put fucking Z's in there. Let me get rid of that. Fuck. Gosh. This page in particular is just twitchy. You know, it's like you hover over anything and something pops out. God damn. He's done it again. Fuck. Hold on, everybody.
Calm down,
there
everybody.
we go. Gosh. I can edit all that out. Don't worry. It's going to be really pro. Yeah. Crime gang turns school into industrial scale cannabis farm. Yes, from Wales Online, this one, everybody. And if you're on the screen right now, you can see all these hanging ganja plants and shit. God, it's I just find it crazy how much money they must spend on putting a farm like this together. You know, how much has been invested?
Man.
Thousands, man. Thousands.
Yeah.
But we have an organized crime group converted an abandoned school building into a large-scale cannabis grow operation, a court has heard. When police swooped on the school, they found more than 700 plants being cultivated, along with dozens more which had been harvested and were being dried and processed. Swansea Crown Court heard officers also found 3 so-called gardeners working at the building. 2 were arrested in the school, but 1 fled over the fence into a nearby fields and got away. A search operation involving ground units and a drone was launched, and the fugitive was found and arrested. So they just wanted to let you know there was a bit of a chase. You know, they could have just said, we arrested all 3. You know, they needed to say, oh, we got 2 of them straight away, but then the other guy ran. We got the forces out. We got them all chasing everybody down, man. Got a drone. Then we caught the fucker. I want to see him. We got the dog hanging off his leg. They didn't say anything about dog, but, you know, they could have. They might as well embellished a little bit further. We didn't need to know any of that. But I digress. No. Anyway, all 3 men have now been sent to prison. Wow, that's rare in the UK. All 3 men have now been sent to prison, but those who set up the industrial operation remain unidentified. Brian Simpson, prosecuting, told the court that on the afternoon of November 15th last year, police executed a search warrant at the abandoned primary school in Landisol, I think that's pronounced, in response to suspicions that it was being used for the production of cannabis. Officers gained entry through a first-floor fire escape and discovered and in the quotation marks, here we go, extensive and sophisticated, end quote, growing operation spread across 3 floors. The court heard police encountered 3 men in the school, now known to be Armeld Troxy, Nijazi Gujana, and Irvin Gujana. They must be related. Trotsky was found hiding in the toilet. He must have been a small guy.
Good Welsh names too.
Yeah, good Welsh names indeed. Trotsky was found hiding in a toilet. Nijazi Gujana ran off down a corridor, but was chased and caused. Here they go again. And Irvin managed to exit the building, climb the perimeter fence, and escape into undergrowth. A search operation was launched to find the fleeing man, involving officers on the ground and a drone in the air. He was caught late that afternoon, soaking wet and covered in bramble scratches walking along the road towards
All I can think of
Pendakar.
is Rambo right now.
You know what I mean?
When they're
Gosh damn.
chasing him during-
I'm thinking more fugitive when he's in the tunnels
yeah,
jumping
there
off
you
the
go.
I
thing.
mean,
Like,
it
yeah.
was not me. It was the one-armed man. You know? The court had heard of a school revealed. Sorry, gotta put the screen back up. Gotta press Z for it, and then Z pops up. Search box pops up. What the fuck? The court heard a search of the school revealed 737 plants growing in 7 rooms with accompanying lights, heaters, ventilation, and a watering system. Another 82 already harvested plants were found hanging up in the drying room. Police found a living area stocked with a large amount of food and which had washed clothes hanging up to dry. The prosecutor said officers also recovered a number of mobile phones, but they haven't been downloaded and analyzed. The court heard the potential value of the cannabis operation was up to £358,000. You can read about the large cannabis farms found in Wales in the last 12 months here. So yeah, that gives you a link where you can go and see all the fucking where all the farms have been found and shit. That's crazy. So yes, and we carry on here with the crappy. I'm not using this website again. God damn. So, Gajana answered no comment to all questions asked, while the other guy, I must have missed a sentence out, because this thing dropped down. Okay, here we go. In the subsequent interviews, 29-year-old Troxy and 24-year-old Irvin Gajana answered no comment to all questions asked, whilst Gajana said he had been in the UK for some 10 years after entering in the back of a lorry from France and had worked in construction in the London area. The 27-year-old said he's been in West Wales for 2 weeks prior to the police raid. There's the guy there. That's Trotsky. There's the other guy. It looks like a guy from USC. You know, that's a vague description. Armel Troxy and Najazi Gajana, both of Empire Avenue, Edmonton, London, and Irvin Gajana of Durham Avenue, Romford, London, had all previously pleaded guilty to producing cannabis when they appeared in the dock for sentencing. Troxy had previous conviction for producing cannabis from April 2023, for which he was sentenced to 30 weeks in prison at Warwick Crown Court. Irvin Gajana has a previous conviction for simple possession of cannabis, while Najazi Gajana has no previous convictions. Barrister Daniel Jones, who represented all 3 defendants, said he had made written submissions to the court about the defendants, which would not be improved by repetition. Judge Paul Thomas, KC, told the 3 defendants they had been heavily involved in the running of a very professional setup. This is in quotation marks again. Very professional setups, they call it. I don't know about that. These professional setups you're going to see in the USA over there, they don't have like piles of food and dirty clothes hanging up to dry. But anyway, yeah, so very professional setup involving more than 800 plants. You said 732 or something. It wasn't more than 800 plants. No,
I think they're adding the drying ones to it.
No, I think with that it was still. Oh, maybe was that 80 plants? Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe. All right, John, calm down. Read facts and shit.
Sorry, I blew up. My bad.
With 1/4 discounts. We have to be precise with the numbers. You know how it is.
Yeah,
You know how it is.
Yeah.
With 1/4 discounts for their guilty pleas, Troxy was sentenced to 3 years and 4 months in prison. And Gajana, they actually says that. And Gajana, they have the same surname.
This is the craziest name.
You know, welcome to the UK. The court heard Trotsky and Gajana are in the UK illegally, but Irvin Gajana's immigration status is not entirely clear. Let me take a guess for you. You know what I mean? So are you just prosecuting them for the illegal production of cannabis, and you're not going to prosecute them for being in the country illegally? That's just going to be overlooked completely, right? Fuck. Speaking after the sentencing, the Fed Police, I butchered that pronunciation too, I butchered many pronunciations. This is a good time for me to be like, yo, sorry for fucking messing up all these words. I tried. I sounded them out phonetically and got it as close as possible as I thought it would be. So maybe they are incorrect, but I tried my best. Just know that.
You're doing good.
Thank you. Detective Constable Ben Nichols said, I'd like to thank the Landison community for their vigilance and proactivity in reporting suspicious activity to police. The information we received from the members of the community helps us build the picture of illegal activity that allows us to execute warrants such as this to ensure our area remains hostile to those who deal drugs. The sentencing serves as a reminder of our dedication to remove and preventing harmful substances damaging our communities. And we thank the public for the crucial role they play in this work. Oh, God, I'm going to fucking go off on one eye. This is so fucked, I swear. It's fucking... Really? You're fucking most... I know it's not right for these guys to come into the UK and do all this shit, you know, and growing cannabis is against the law, but it fucking shouldn't be. Them guys should be able to come into this country completely legally, and if they wanted to, start up a business where they grow and sell their own cannabis. They should be able to do that legally, and the reason why that is wrong is because the government fucking said so, and I don't agree with that shit. But there's so many other things going on in the UK right now. And the people in the UK know what I'm talking about, man. There's so much knife crime going on right now. The kids, they're killing each other every day on the fucking streets here. And they want to fucking invest how much of their resources into nonsense like this? And again, I don't agree that these guys should be here doing it illegally. They need to do it legally, but the government needs to fucking make that possible. But they've really got to do something about this fucking knife crime. Stuff like this as well. But man, I want to see more stories about them doing something about the fucking knife crime in this country. Because it is seriously out of control. Numerous stabbings every single day all over the country, man. Yeah, I blame Amazon. You know what I'm saying? I see it. Man, I could go off. It'll be a completely different fucking episode. I'd do an episode specially just to talk about all this shit, and we could fill an hour. It's ridiculous, man. So I just like the police to spend the resources, the few resources that they have, because they've been cut so many times by the government. You know, there's been cuts to funding constantly for the last 20 years. So it's not entirely the police officer's fault, but, you know, use your resources accordingly, man. How much did it cost to take down this cannabis farm, which essentially, it's not doing any wrong, really, is it? You're growing some plants, they're selling it to, you know, maybe they shouldn't have used the empty school, but what, you're just going to let it sit there and do nothing? Might as well fucking do something with it. You know what I mean?
My question is, how didn't they find these guys earlier?
Because they're not looking. They waited for somebody to grass them up. They're not even looking.
Well, yeah, but as many stories as I've heard from over there of this same situation happening, right? It's just like, okay, here's a school that's empty, but they're using a crap ton of electricity. Who is paying for that? Like, who's paying that bill every month? You know? And if somebody actually rented or purchased that school and then that happened, like, why? How do they not know, man? It's crazy.
Yeah, and Deidre's Neck just put in the chat there. Now, they're slaves, not proper growers. They're forced. Absolutely right as well. Yeah. You know, it's not just about the fucking empty building being used up and the cannabis being grown and all that, but it's probably human slavery as well. These people get dragged into these gangs and get forced over here to grow cannabis, or, you know, their family will get trouble back home. All sorts of shit goes on, man. It's, you know, extortion, bribery, human slavery. It's terrible, man. And the reason why it continues to happen is because it's still illegal here. And if it wasn't illegal here and it moved into more of a legitimate market, we wouldn't see things like this taking place. And the police would have the time and the resources to dedicate to actual crime where there's actual victims. You know, it frustrates me. I'm sorry I have to get all wound up like that on the first fucking story, everybody, but it's a joke, right? We're sick of this, man. We're sick of this. We need to see something done, man. Gosh. Legalize cannabis properly, for fuck's sake. So not only are you not treating ordinary people as criminals for the choice of herbs they inhale, but you also give the justice system and the police force the resources they need to deal with actual crime. You know, free up some fucking spaces in the prisons, because we need to do that. And instead of letting fucking rapists out, how about you let out the non-violent drug offenders out? How about you Look, I'm going on a rant. I'm not doing it. All right? Fuck. You all know what I'm saying, everybody. I'm not going to preach to the choir, but you all know what I'm saying, man. God damn. Hit that like button. What's Aurora saying? Let's move on to the Aurora article. What are you saying about Aurora, Billy? They're doing well.
Yeah, they're doing fucking great, mate. Of course they are. They're a
Mm-mm.
cannabis company that have been given a license to do what the fuck they want. So let's have it here. Like Aurora launches German internship program. So Edmonton, AB, which is Alberta, we haven't got our Canadian sort of expert here to confirm. So the Aurora Cannabis Incorporation, a Canadian medical cannabis company, launched an internship program at Aurora's EU GMP facility in Luana, Germany, in partnership with the Erfurt University of Applied Sciences. Students of the horticultural crop production course will gain valuable hands-on experience and on-site and deepen their understanding of medical cannabis cultivation. Aurora's investment into the future industry leaders is one of the ways Aurora is expanding the frontiers of global medical cannabis. So basically, you can go to Germany now and go to university and study cannabis cultivation.
Nice.
And it seems that you will be growing weed in the university. It's actually part of the course. You probably have to grow and treat your own plant, if you know what I mean. So that's good.
And this is kind of awesome, man.
You know what I mean?
So,
Instead of like raising a baby and shit like they used to do back in the days. Remember that? Here's a doll. Here's an egg. Take care of it. No, it's like, here's a fucking ganja plant. Let's see what you can do.
When you was at school, it's growing cress on your window.
Yeah, remember that? Or like in some stockings or something, so it grew like a hair and it was like a potato.
Yeah.
Remember that? Fuck.
There you go. Yeah.
Good times. Now you get to grow weed, man. Fuck. I'm going back to school.
Well, you can if you want. There's nothing stopping anyone.
No, it's too many people, man. I don't like people very much, you know? There's a problem.
Yeah.
It's an issue.
Well,
I'd have a look at the entry requirements on these sorts of courses, and so if you're interested and you're young enough, then go back to school. So we are all basically, so what the Aurora is saying, we are all thrilled to be giving these students the opportunity to collaborate with our leading experts in the global medical cannabis industry, providing them with unparalleled insights and skills, says Michael Simon, president of the Aurora Europe Interim. So we are committed to nurturing talent and fostering a collaborative environment, ensuring that our interns leave with an enriched understanding of the industry and a solid foundation for their professional journeys. So Aurora's domestic cannabis facility located in Luana, Saxony-Anhalt is one of the few sites in Germany permitted to grow medical cannabis. So, yep, they are permitted to grow it on site. The state-of-the-art indoor facility meets standards of operational excellence. That sounds a bit posh, doesn't it? Using innovative and sustainable cultivation methods, making it an ideal site for the students to learn best practices. Yeah, don't know. We're like, what are they growing in? What growing mediums are they learning? All the growing mediums and that as well.
Yeah, that's it. Would they just be sticking to the living soil? Would they be doing hydro? Would they be able to choose? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's the interesting part there, isn't it? The 6 month, only 6 month internship program.
Wow,
it's not long, is it?
Really? One grow.
No. One grow. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll focus on the phases of medical cannabis cultivation, including cloning, care, harvesting, packaging, and cleaning. All in 6 months. Students will also participate in special research and development products.
Damn.
So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah. So Aurora's expertise is not only developing premium medical cannabis products, but in cultivating great talent both domestically and globally. Has allowed the company to maintain its leadership position. Fucking
that's what it is.
Trumpet.
That's what has allowed it to maintain its leadership position. That's exactly what it is. It's nothing to do
with the bribery and the large
Billy, please. Envelope passing. Let's call it something else. We can't call it bribery. That's allegedly, Billy. Come on, let's be polite now. Aurora's good people. Good people. Jesus.
Crazy.
I mean,
it sounds to me like a regular intern thing. Not necessarily that you're. So what I'm getting from this is you have to be a horticultural student, right? And they're accepting applications from them to come work for them, and then they're just going to run them through everything.
No, you will study their specific course at the university site, I think, or their site in Germany.
Hmm.
It's in collaboration with the university.
Right.
So you'll be
Mm-hmm.
studying at the university under their course and guidance.
Right.
So the university has its own license now to grow cannabis on their specific site.
That's crazy, man.
Hmm. Yeah.
Times are changing.
So yeah, that's literally that's what the story is. So obviously, like, if you're into that sort of shit and you're in Germany, then start looking at all this sort of stuff, because that's what's going to be. All these jobs are going to be flooding across your country.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and we're all missing out. You know, by the time it gets here
Yeah.
to the UK, these jobs are all going to be fucking done. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it'll be interesting to know you have to be a member of that university beforehand. It sounds that way, doesn't it? Like you already have to be on the course. So it would be nice to just apply and go over there, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you already have to be on a course. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But good luck to Germany.
Yeah.
You know, it pisses you off sometimes because Aurora is like taking over, but it's not their fault that they've been able to be in a position like that. It's the governments around the world that have enabled this to happen, where there's just a few companies at the top. You know, can't blame Aurora. You know,
no, it's not their fault. They're just the ones who are passing envelopes to other people so they can keep in business, and that's what business people do.
And the government should say, no, we are the government and we're supposed to do our jobs. You cannot buy us like that. That's what the
government should say, yes, that's fine, but let everyone else also do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like eventually you have all just the ones who are doing the best will be the only ones that survive, because that's how it works. It always has and always will work like that, which is the reason they don't want it to, because they want to keep it more in control. They don't want people to be working together for each other.
Dodging us,
They
man.
want their little fingers in their every little pie.
So, yeah, interesting story. We'll keep you informed, there, everybody. Let us know if anybody gets on this course as well. If we got any students out there getting on this fucking course in Germany, we want to know about that shit. We want to know how good it is, because I don't think you can really learn a lot in 6 months. You know, I mean, you can learn a lot, but one of the best teachers when it comes to growing cannabis, especially, is experience. You know, and if you don't have the experience, you're not going to be able to grow very good. Read all the books you like. You know,
I think 2 years. To be honest, after what I've grown, I'd say you'd need a 2 years experience, before 18 months before you really get to grip of understanding it, because you need those few grows under your belt to then get the difference between that grow, that cultivar, that cultivar.
You know what I mean? Just think as well, you know, when they're doing this, like, it's for 6 months, like 6 months is going to be really fucking warm, and 6 months is going to be really fucking cold. So, you know what I mean? That's going to make a difference to the grows as well, you know, because of the seasons. Are you growing in winter? Are you growing in summer? That's going to make a fucking difference as well. Crazy talk. Anyway, Washington are doing some new shit, right? What's going on in Washington there?
For Marijuana Moment, looks like a new Washington bills would legalize home marijuana cultivation and allow producers to sell cannabis directly to consumers.
Oh my God.
So I read ahead a little bit about this.
This is going to be Washington State, right?
Yeah, Washington State, which I'm still surprised, you know, when I seen this, I'm like, Washington still doesn't, you know, have some of these, you know, bills in place. Beans, you know, they legalized in what, 2012 or something?
Well, even sooner than that. I think they were the first, weren't they?
No,
for medical,
well,
one of the first for medical.
I think.
Right.
Yeah,
they had a federal program, didn't they, as well?
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So continuing on here, a pair of new bills introduced in Washington State this week would make changes to existing marijuana laws, permitting producers to sell flower directly to consumers and allowing home cannabis cultivation by adults for personal use, which I still can't believe that's not a thing there.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. Both bills are set to be heard in committee next week. HB 1449 from Rep. Shelley Kloba, Democrat, would allow adults aged 21 and older to grow up to 6 cannabis plants at home for personal use, with households capped at 15 plants regardless of how many adults reside on the premises. Minnesota's the same way, man. Like,
yeah, I just had to add my my unapproval of plant numbers there, because I don't think there should be plant numbers. Fuck you.
Right. Yeah.
There we go.
Uh, people could also lawfully keep the marijuana produced by those plants despite the state's existing 1 ounce limit on possession.
Wow,
The,
fucking hell.
it's I would have to read that to find out if that's just overall or what, but like in Minnesota,
Like when you
there's
leave
what
the
you can
house.
have in
Yeah.
right, yeah, what you can carry on you, you know what I mean? But I'm not sure what that one is.
What is it, Minnesota?
Anyway, 2 ounces to carry and 2 pounds at home.
Yeah, okay, that's better, but still £2 isn't enough either.
It's a lot, man.
Yeah, it is a lot, but maybe you don't want to grow for the whole year. You want to grow just in the wintertime
Right.
when you'd have hard lights.
Right.
Maybe you smoke a lot of hash. Maybe you want to make a lot of oil. You know, you could have. You should have. Do they come to the house and be like, "Oh, you've got 12 bottles of fucking Jack Daniels there. You're only allowed 10." You know, it's
Yeah,
like, no,
no.
they fucking don't. So why do the whole
No.
cannabis to a different standard? That's what I think.
Well, and really, I don't think they're out here just checking people. You know what I mean? Unless it gets brought to attention.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to come to your house, knock on the door. Okay, I got to see how many plants you
Yeah.
got this week, and I want you.
I've come to weigh. I've come to weigh the ganja this week,
Yeah.
John. Let me have a look what you got here, John.
Hold on. All right, moving on. The measure will be considered on Tuesday by the House Consumer Protection and Business Committee. If enacted, it would be a Class 3 civil infraction if the cannabis plants or products were within public view or could be readily smelled from a public place or another private housing unit. Currently, it's a felony in Washington state for adults to grow their own cannabis unless they're state registered medical marijuana patients. So I guess that's good. They can grow already. CLOBA has repeatedly sponsored cannabis homegrown legislation in recent years, but each time the proposal has fallen short. A similar effort last year died in committee without getting a vote. Legislative efforts to allow personal marijuana cultivation stretch back to at least 2015, but so far each has failed. The Cannabis Alliance, a trade group representing a range of marijuana and ancillary businesses, believes this year could be different. Executive Director Caitlin Ryan said in an email to Marijuana Moment that the group is optimistic that this year's home grow bill has a stronger chance of passing than previous attempts. With 21 states and DC already embracing home grow, it's clear this is no longer an experiment but a proven norm, Ryan said. The bill reflects nearly a decade of refinement, broad stakeholder input, and growing legislative support, as evidenced by its significant number of co-sponsors. She added that push from some industry members has weakened in recent years, with licensees recognizing that home grow enhances appreciation for their offerings rather than competing with them, and that opposition testimony in general has been dwindling each year. Sounds like that's good. I mean, more people are for it, right? While some state groups such as the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs and the Washington Association for Substance Abuse and Violence Prevention remain opposed, Ryan continued, the changing makeup of committees, new leadership, and broader coalition of supporters, including recognition from the governor's Cannabis and Social Equity Work Group, make this the most promising environment yet for passing homegrown legislation. As of Friday, HB 1449 has 15 listed co-sponsors in addition to CLOBA herself. Last February, after the failure of CLOBA's previous homegrown bill, the lawmaker said she was undeterred and was already planning a next bill. I am committing to this issue. A plan to run a bill again next session, CLOBA told Marijuana Moment at the time. Every session has its own character and constraints, which so far have meant that the bill has not advanced to the Senate, but I'm not giving up. Despite being among the first states to legalize marijuana for adult use in 2012, Washington is one of the few legal states where it remains a crime for adults to grow a cannabis plant for their own use. Yeah, so 2012 is when they legalized.
Yeah, I'm just one of those
recreationally.
You know, when I think, yeah, they legalized about fucking 12 years ago, didn't they? That's 1999.
Yeah.
And it really isn't, is it? Fuck.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah. John Kingsbury, co-founder of advocacy group Home Grow Washington, said he's all in on the bill. Certainly Washington being at the back of this one, while home growing becoming the norm, and with legislators and community leaders becoming more aware of the impacts. The pro tent has become larger, he said in an email, adding that licensed businesses have also come to realize that home growing may likely enhance the appreciation and value of what they provide rather than competing with it. Another new bill being considered by lawmakers this session, SB 5403, would allow cannabis producers to sell up to 1,000 pounds of marijuana per year directly to consumers without having to go through a licensed retail store. It's set to go before the Senate Labor and Commerce Committee on Monday. So I think what this means is that somebody who just has like a grower's license, like a small farm, can sell directly, like set up a little retail. I guess.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Micah Sherman, operations director and owner of Cannabis Grower Raven and a board member of the Washington Sun and Craft Growers Association, said he's been pushing for direct consumer sales for years. In his eyes, it's a way to support small-scale craft cannabis without upsetting the existing market. As introduced, the measure from Senator Rebecca Saldana, Democrat, would allow licensed cannabis producers to sell their own marijuana flower directly to consumers. Products would need to be produced and processed at the licensee's own location, and state cannabis regulators could set further rules and restrictions. Sales would be taxed at the same 37% rate that applies to other consumer cannabis transactions. That is ridiculous, man.
37%. No wonder it's fucking legal. Damn.
Oh my God, bro.
That's bad.
Yeah, man. One likely change, said Sherman, who worked with Saldana and legislative staff to draft the new bill, is that the bill will be amended to allow licensees to sell only up to 1,000 pounds of cannabis per year to consumers. That, he explained, is meant to limit the proposal's impact on existing retailers and encourage craft growers to focus on premium products, which is what we want, right? Wanting to have a viable business ecosystem where you can buy quality flower grown by people who care about what they're doing, Sherman said. That's what this bill is about, preserving.
Sherman is a smoker. He knows the score.
That's right. He urged supporters to sign up to give public comment on the bill at Monday's hearing. Currently, Sherman said small cannabis farmers are stuck in an unsustainable business model because the state bans vertical integration. They are reliant on other licensed retailers to carry their product. As the state's adult use marijuana market has matured, the opportunity to buy a lot of quality products grown by good businesses has lessened, he asserted. A lot of those people have gone out of business and are going to continue to go out of business if something like this isn't implemented. Sherman said his own company, Raven, is not a viable business enterprise, adding that this is true of most small cannabis farms in the state because we're all hanging on, waiting for there to be some sort of change to the system that we operate in. He described the change as complementary to the state's existing marijuana market, saying it would help better educate consumers and potentially shrink the illicit market. Our claim is that this has always been an additive concept and that we're going to bring business in that currently isn't participating in the legal regulated market, he said. We all know that there is a core group of cannabis consumers that will not participate in the dispensary model. Until the legal regulated system acknowledges that and lets that be a relationship that exists, Sherman continued, we're never going to have those people participate. Direct consumer sales are already allowed in some jurisdictions, especially among small so-called micro businesses, and lawmakers in some states like California and New York have similarly moved to allow producers to sell directly to consumers. Last month, for example, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, I think that's how you pronounce it, Democrat, signed a bill into law to revive the state's expired Cannabis Growers Showcase program. through which producers can sell products directly to consumers at farmers market style events. In California, however, Governor Gavin Newsom,
Boo.
Democrat, last year, yeah, boo, big time boo, vetoed a lawmaker-approved bill that would have allowed small growers to sell their products to consumers at state-organized farmers markets. So that last part of that is all about smaller farms that aren't micro businesses.
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah, it seems like a good story overall. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's progress.
I
Isn't
hope
it?
it goes
It's progress.
through. I mean, it seems legit and good to me.
Yeah,
Definitely
well,
want the first part of the home grow to go forward.
absolutely. Yeah, man.
You know,
That's the most
Yeah.
important thing. I think out of everything, that's the thing that needs to be done. Well, of course, it's medical, but medical gets done first. But when
Right,
it
right.
does get legalized somewhere, along with that should also come home grow. It's like legalized without home grow. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah.
It's a piss take, man.
So it's no good.
But you know, steps in the right direction all the same.
Yep.
That's what we want to see.
Baby steps, baby steps.
Yeah. So
So hopefully
getting
Washington gets that passed. That'd be
Mhm.
awesome.
yeah, man. Oh, I wonder if anything's going to change federally still, because that's the big one.
We'll see.
Interstate commerce and all that. All that needs to change, man. Because just being in Washington and being able to sell shit, I mean, that's good, but it would be nice if you can go to other states as well. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
We have to see what happens there.
Mhm.
But here in the UK, again, let's return back to the UK. So we have 4 jailed for importing cannabis on fishing boat. I'm not sure if you're aware of how good your geography is and stuff, but you know, the UK is an island, and it's not a very big one really either. You should be able to get stuff in by boat pretty easy. I heard that it's easy to get here by boat. 4 men who have been jailed for their part in a plot to smuggle £310,000 worth of cannabis to the Isle of Man on a fishing boat. So yeah, that's $350,000 pretty much, you know, tax free. John Skillen, 44, Jordan Corkill, 26, Ashley Harrison, 36, and Jamie Smith, 37, were involved in a plot to take the drugs from Whitehaven to the island on the 17th of November, 2023, on the vessel Boy Shane. That must have been the name of the boat. Right. Douglas Courthouse heard the drugs were packed in a black holdall along with 98 vapes laced everybody with tetrahydrocannabinol THC worth £3,000. While the bag was originally due to be transferred to a rigid inflatable boat at Laxley Bay, it was instead brought into Douglas Harbour, where police intercepted drugs. Excuse me, cough switch. Jesus. Yeah, so it seems as if maybe this kind of thing happens often, where they've got the shit in a boat, and when it gets closer to land, they put it off in a smaller boat, which is less likely to be seen, maybe. Anyway, not giving you any ideas, anybody. Fuck, stay off the water. We don't belong there. We're humans. The court heard skill. Yeah, that's right. That's all the seals and the turtles and shit, you know? But yeah, it sounds like a comedy sketch. It sounds like a mission on Grand Theft Auto, you know what I mean? He's trying to fucking float a little bit of weed over there. Don't get caught. Don't raise suspicion. And it also reminds me of that speedboat video, you know, and Family Guy did a cut of it as well, where they're all in the speedboat and it's going along and then it sort of like loses control and they all smash into the seats. Yeah, fucking funny video. Old school video, you know the one. And the girl loses her fucking sunglasses and shit, you know.
Yeah, they go flying.
Good video. The court heard Skillen of Arcallaghan Terrace in Foxdale had originally been asked to bring a person from Whitehaven to the island on his vessel for exchange for £2,000, with his skipper Corkill offered a few £100s for his involvement. When the boat arrived in Whitehaven, he was instead handing a holdall containing 54 packages of cannabis along with the vapes. He then sailed the boat to Laxley Bay, where the rigid inflatable owned by Harrison was supposed to meet the vessel and transport the drugs to the island, but it did not arrive.
Oh no.
Mission failed. The court told Harrison of Kerrow Moor in Sulby had asked his friend Jordan Halligan Bunce, who was unaware of the operation, to pilot his vessel from Peel to Laxley. However, the 21-year-old from Bromont Road in Castletown had underground had grounded the rigid inflatable in his hometown when he discovered the drugs plot. Oh, right, right. So he was supposed to do it, and he decided to pull out. The court heard Smith, who had been in contact with the Boy Shane owners over 5 weeks period ahead of the operation, then instructed the boat to go to Douglas Harbour instead. Skillen, who was waiting in the harbour in a car, was seen being handed the hodl after the boat arrived at 21:45 GMT, and both he and Corkill were arrested. Smith was jailed for 5 years after he pleaded guilty to the importation of both the cannabis and the THC vapes. Harrison admitted being concerned in the importation of both the cannabis and THC vapes and was sentenced to 3 years and 11 months. Skillen, who pleaded guilty to possession of cannabis with intent to supply, possession of THC vapes with the intent to supply, and the importation of both, was jailed for 3 years and 9 months. Corker admitted being concerned in the supply of cannabis, concerned in the supply of THC vapes, as well as importing of both, and was sent to prison for 3 years and 6 months. Halligan Bunce was found guilty of being concerned in the importation of cannabis and THC vapes after a trial. He was handed a 21-month sentence, suspended for 2 years. Guess who the grasser was?
Again.
Deemster Bernard Richmond told Skillen and Corkill that while he accepted that they may not have been known what he was involved in from the outset, it became clear it was something illegal. He told Harrison his role was a very important cog on the wheel by providing the rigid inflatable and engaging Halligan Bunce. Suspending Halligan Bunce's sentence, Deemster Richmond told him he should have asked questions of Harrison, but said it was to his credit that once he found out about the plot, he has done everything he could do to make sure the mission was aborted. Wow. Wow, what a fucking tale. They'll make a movie about this one day. At least a Netflix series. You know?
That's crazy.
So essentially, just a crew of guys probably done things like this in the past, but never bought ganja over. Seems like they go over there and pick up a person, you know, and bring a person over on a boat, like a friend or something. You know, they get paid a little bit of money for that, but this time they obviously got there and the guy's like, oh no, we ain't got a person for you. Here's a bag of dodgy shit. And you know what I mean?
Like, here, take this bag, get in your little boat, drive over there.
And their other friend, the other friend was called up, be like, oh, they give us something dodgy. Like, I'm not getting involved. Pulled his dinghy away, called up the old bill. Something dodgy going on here. You know, give me a reduced sentence. Fuck.
Yeah.
Dodgy shit,
Where
man.
do they
This is
come
what
up with these sentences, anyways. Like,
yeah, it's
3
gonna
years,
be
11 months, 3 years, 9 months. Like,
you know, 3 years, 6 months. You know, fuck. You know, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. They've got some book that'll be like, oh, he has something to do with cannabis. That's 18 months plus 18 months plus this and this and this, and add it all up and then give it to him. Ridiculous.
Right.
You know.
God, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. It's just.
And I wonder how much. I know they said 54 packages. They said something like that.
Yeah, was it?
Well, how much were those packages?
Yeah, how much were
like,
in
what
each?
are we talking here in weight? You know,
ounces or something. It could got to be more than ounces because they're saying it was 1/3 of a million. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but they always drop. You know, they jack up those numbers all the time.
Mm-hmm. Madness, man. But this is where you shouldn't get involved in these illegal operations, everybody.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah, it's just not worth it, man. You'll think that it will go down sweet, but there's got to be some guy who fucking, you know, pulls out because he ain't got the bottle or he has a fucking conscience trip or something, and he's going to pull out and fuck everybody else over. You don't want to be in that kind of situation, man. Just stay the fuck out of it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Just grow your own weed at home, stay safe, stay below the radar, you know, your own personal supply, and you do just fine. What do you think about this one, Billy?
It was like the storm got me.
I'm not sure really because, like, again, you say they know they're doing illegal stuff, so it's the risk and that. But then they should be able to give someone an envelope for a piece of paper and have a license to do it legally, shouldn't they? So
absolutely. They're doing nothing wrong.
Again,
they're doing nothing wrong,
as far as
I'm concerned,
wrong, apart from breaking the laws of the land, which shouldn't be there anyway. So
exactly.
Right.
But they know the consequences because they know they are breaking the law. So it's sort of like, well, you shouldn't really do it. Or well, you shouldn't complain if you get caught. If you're not that you shouldn't do it.
Yeah. They know the game they're playing. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
part of the game they play.
Yeah, totally.
It's fucked up, and you
Exactly.
shouldn't get locked up for doing this. You know, but this is the game you fucking play, and that's just gonna happen sometimes. Just the way
Yeah,
it
they
is,
they should be able
you
to
know?
have a little shop where and it comes
Mhm.
across on the boat normally with everyone else's stock.
Yeah,
If you know what I
yeah.
mean, in a
Yeah.
box. Like
Mhm.
like what all the pharmaceutical companies do in this company.
Yeah, yeah.
Same thing, no difference. It's just
That's it, man.
entrepreneurs are not allowed to do it because we haven't got the money for the licenses.
That's right.
Right.
It's
Which
fucked,
is
isn't it? And that's exactly it.
yeah.
That's exactly it. I mean, it sounds crazy, but that's essentially what it is because these guys didn't have the money to pay the fucking and the contacts, because it depends who you know as well. But because they don't know a particular person in government that they can give a particular amount of fucking envelopes to make sure that they can do it fucking legally. I
Yeah.
mean, because that's all it takes. People just haven't got the money and the contacts. Ridiculous.
It's bullshit, really.
Yeah.
Poor guys,
Crazy.
man, locked up for fucking like 3 years at least. You know,
Yeah.
and what for? What for?
One guy 5, I think.
Yeah.
For doing a public service, really, because there's probably a lot of
Non-violent,
people who would need that.
yeah, non-violent
Mhm.
offences. When there's plenty of violent offences going on in the UK and in Ireland, you know,
And
plenty of violent
cannabis is a
offences going
recognised
on.
medicine, so it's
Yeah,
recognised medicine. So all they're doing was giving people an opportunity to take a recognised medicine without a
Right.
license,
Mm-mm.
and they lose 3 years. But yet other people in the UK do far more horrific things and
Yeah,
walk
like
free.
post nasty words on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still can't
the
believe that.
criminals. But anyway,
crazy shit.
one more news story to get to here, which is quite an interesting one, I find. What do you think? You got the bacteria one here, Billy?
Yeah, man, this is bacteria and pesticides found in cannabis sold in Dutch coffee shops.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep,
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to do that.
Danger.
That's why the dramatic pause was there. So, this is the scary bit: lead, pesticides, and potentially harmful bacteria. But when it says potentially harmful bacteria, that we all know we got bacteria on our cannabis.
Yeah,
It's just
Yeah.
how high that. So
I mean-
all bacteria. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
but it's the contaminants were found during the investigation into cannabis sold in semi-legal coffee shops in the Netherlands. So the research, which aimed to establish a baseline level of typical contamination, was carried out by the Institute of Mental Health and Addiction, the Trimbos Institute. It will be used to inform a trial starting in April, in which 10 shops, in which shops in 10 municipalities, municipals in 10 little fucking places, shops, cities, towns.
Little small city
So
municipalities, right?
yeah, that's the word. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You
Thank
win
you.
a prize.
That's right. What do I win? I already won my crown back at
Um,
Letter League. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's why you was
Uh,
able to pronounce that word and I wasn't.
That's right.
Right.
Right, there you go. You
I
win
was gonna use it.
kudos. That's what you do. You win kudos from the lads.
Wins 13 points on Letter League. There you go.
There you go.
Yep,
Yeah.
there you go.
Municipalities like that. Anyway, sorry,
So-
everybody. Random.
Well, so we will sell cannabis that is produced by licensed growers subject to limits on contaminants. So they're basically going to test weed for some dudes who've grown weed.
Yeah, but
So the
because right
research-
now it's not licensed growers, isn't it? It's a grey market kind of thing that happens in the Netherlands. They get
Yeah.
their cannabis from
Right.
illegal growers.
Backdoor.
And this
Yeah.
that's what they're trying to push now. I can tell by the tone of this article here. It's like all the
Mm-hmm.
illegal cannabis, it's not safe. You got to get it from the registered growers because this is
Yeah.
irradiated and full up with all kinds of shit we don't tell you about. Well, yeah, what are you saying,
Yep,
buddy? Sorry.
no.
So the researchers tested 105 cannabis samples, both resin and weed, bought from randomly selected sellers. 1 in 5 of the samples contained microbiological transgestions such as Staphylococcus aureus bacteria.
Staphylococcus for staph
Yeah,
infection.
that's it. Yeah, or
Mhm.
fungal residue, and the pesticide traces were found in about 1 in 3. One hash sample contained almost 6 times the amount of lead that would be allowed in the cannabis sold
Jesus.
during the trial.
Damn. Okay,
Yes,
that's
there are
bad.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so there are contaminants in the cannabis, said Peter Uman, and analytical chemist and researcher of the Dutch drug market. We found multiple pesticides, multiple instances of microbiological contamination, and 1 sample that contains lead. Although tourists flock to the Netherlands under the impression that cannabis is fully legal, since 76. A tolerance policy has simply meant that the sale of hash and cannabis is permitted in regulated coffee shops. However, since growing more than 5 plants is illegal, shops must buy from illegal suppliers, raising concerns about encouraging criminality. So the regulated cannabis trials aims to cut out the criminal circuit and reduce contamination. 10 growers have gone through criminal checks and will be licensed to supply cannabis to the coffee shops taking part in the trial. 4 are now ready to supply it. Their produce will be tested to make sure it does not exceed the limits for contaminations, including heavy metals, microorganisms, pesticides, and harmful aflatoxins produced by fungi. In the research, potentially harmful bacteria were in indication of inadequate hygiene levels at any stage of growing, trimming, packaging, or selling cannabis. Uman said the small study was exploratory and did not mean all cannabis in Netherlands was contaminated. So the study concluded that the harm was likely to be relatively minimal compared to the health impact of smoking a joint in the first place, especially when combined with tobacco. It's hard to interrupt any microbiological contaminants we found because because the impact very much depends on the immune system of the person consuming the cannabis, he said. We do not expect that the contaminants we found will add any significance to the risk that someone runs already just using from the cannabis itself. Disputable. The acute effects can range from anxiety and panic issues with attention that can potentially lead to accidents in traffic, to addiction, basically. So he's just waffling bollocks, basically.
Yeah. Here comes the bullshit.
Yeah. So basically, and then just that's the end of the article, really. There, someone having to get in the jibe. But cannabis is dangerous anyway. And then fuck you.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
I mean, they
be
put
careful.
it at the bottom,
obviously.
So
but it's hard to tell unless you get the cannabis tested.
Which I do think the cannabis should be tested as well. I think it's a good step to some extent, but they need to be careful about how strict they are. You know?
Yeah, it's the restrictions on it would be 2 restrictions. Like I agree, someone who's selling publicly should have a license, and each batch should be tested, sort of thing. Like, but also then anyone should be able to get that license for a very small fee. So, no matter their criminal background, even if they've got a criminal background, as long as
what are you saying, John?
How are criminals meant to reform? Like, then they just go to stay criminals for the rest of their life, ain't they? Someone coming out of prison from selling weed illegally can't then sell weed legally. Then is that what they're saying as well?
Yeah, stupidness, man. But John, you said you were confused. What are you saying, John?
So, well, I'm not necessarily confused, but like, I cannot believe that this isn't something already in place there. Like, why do they still have this?
It's just because dodgy laws, man.
They're mental.
I mean,
because they've never fully legalized, so you just turn a blind eye to it. So the people supplying the cannabis to these coffee shops are not like licensed, tested growers.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. If they've been doing this since '76, man, why do they not have this implemented already, and not have to worry about these illegal sellers and stuff, man? Like, and they could be having things tested, you know?
I don't know, man. It just seems like no government knows what the fuck it's doing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the government are normally so efficient, aren't they? You'd think they would have got this done, yeah. Basically, that's what it is, John. It's because the governments are normally so efficient that it's just strange they missed that one. That'd be the answer there.
Yeah, efficiency, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so, be careful of the devil cannabis out there in Netherlands, everybody. Don't really. Just go and fucking smoke and enjoy it. Goddamn. It's like they're going to be they'll be testing raw chicken next, but because you're buying it before it's cooked. They're like, oh, no, it's got salmonella on it. You can't have it because it's unsafe. It's like, you're going to cook it first, you fucking knob. All right? You know what I mean? It's like you're going to smoke the weed. I'm not just going to eat this raw bud and catch fucking streptococcus or whatever they want to fucking call it.
Have they tested their own tap water recently?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they tested the weed. What container was the weed in? How do you know that
Yeah.
it didn't come on the fucking container that the weed was in? It was only found in one of
Right.
these 10 samples. Where'd you get the sample from? What was the grower doing with it? Is it contaminated by
Right.
somebody else? How did it get on the cannabis in the first place? Did you test
When
it?
the
Does it
person
got old
purchased
pipes?
it,
You
no.
know.
What was they doing just before
Mm-mm.
that? Right.
These motherfuckers, man. Fucking.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
got any fucking idea what they're doing, you know?
Right.
But
Yeah, it's crazy.
interesting news anyway. Interesting news.
Yeah.
It seems as if the Netherlands still has their problems, even though it does seem legal, you know?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
it's nice that hopefully they are doing some sort of look into to make it more of a legal unit. So at least that might do something.
Right.
Because especially now Germany's changed laws, they're next door. They've got to do something now, aren't they? Otherwise, they're going to
Yeah.
lose all the money, all the education, all the Dutch people, botanists, to be like, yeah, we ain't doing tulips no more. I'm going down to Germany and doing cannabis instead. Fuck the tulip
Right.
market, and then
Yeah,
that
man.
destroy the tulip market, which is worth a lot of money to Holland, their
Yeah.
flower market.
Yeah, wasn't there some big inflationary thing that happened with the tulips back in the day? What was that one?
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
you could swap your house for people was sold their houses for tulip bulbs.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
could
Wait,
like,
what?
so
Yeah,
literally in Holland.
something what happened with inflation involving the price of tulip bulbs. It went crazy at some point. I can't remember what it is specifically. Should I
Yeah,
quickly ask
people swapped
ChatGPT?
land deeds. Yeah, they swapped house deeds for tulips, for bulbs.
Well, I would ask, but I threw my phone
What?
somewhere. I don't know what it is.
That's just crazy, isn't it? It's just mental.
That's nuts.
Yep.
Yeah, man. It's a cool story. Check it out, everybody. Go. You just do a
Yeah.
Google search for fucking the tulip bubble pop or something. I don't know. So tulip recession. I don't know. I don't know what you would search for specifically, but it was an interesting story. It teaches some lessons about economics and shit. About how it's all fake.
that's nuts.
It's all fiat currencies.
It's all
It's all full of
fake.
shit anyway. You know. Yeah, things only have
Weed
value
is the
because we
real
think they have
currency.
value. That's right. That's right, and that's why they won't let us have it. Well, yeah, that's all the news articles, isn't it? That's all of them we've gone through
Wonderful.
now. Yeah, so
Yeah, man.
we'll try and find some good news stories. I'm not saying those weren't good. I mean, like good as in, yay, that's good news. I mean, we had them kind of here, but I don't know. It's hard to find good news when it comes to cannabis. So if you do see any good news throughout the week out there, everybody, are you scrolling through your feeds like, oh, this is some good news for cannabis? Fucking send it to us because we're losing our minds over here, man. You know?
It is hard to find a good one, man.
It is. It is,
know?
especially here in the. I've said it on many of the shows before, but I want to do a Google search. I'll go to Google specifically, be like cannabis news in the last week, and it'll just be this place got raided, this place got raided, this bust, this person arrested, and it's just constant shit
Yeah.
like that, man. Yeah. So if
Nuts.
you see news articles, everybody send them in to us. But some forum news, Billy, you want to talk about High on Hash Club?
Yes, I will be doing a new stream called High on Hash Club on the last
Nice.
Saturday of every month. So if you're a hash consumer and you want to show off some of your hash or talk about it, then come to Percy's and get the link there, or see me, and I'll give you the links and all of that.
Yeah, man, you
and
got
get
Discord
in
server and everything for it
on
now,
the
right?
thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, I've got a Discord for it as well, so you can send pictures of your hash, and so everyone start getting hashed up, man. Let's
That's
go.
right. That's
It was a
right.
good show.
Sounds good. Good luck with the show, Billy. I hope it does well, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
With the
it'd be nice to chat hash.
yeah, man,
And smoke hash.
we've got the poll for Plant of the Month up and running now, so make sure you get over there and vote in Plant of the Month to decide who the winner is. There's only a few days left on the poll now. Been a good month this month. We had what was it, 9, 10 entries or something? Quite a few entries.
There's a few.
Yeah, and we're going to do a spin for some seeds for those guys in just a second. So yes, if you do have a plant you would like to enter into Plant of the Month, then we start again in February. So for February the 1st up until the 21st, you'll be able to enter your plants. So get them ready. Make sure you make a sign and all that. And yeah, come and get involved again for Plant of the Month. Go and vote. You know, people put some effort putting the signs together and putting their pictures up and making it look all nice and shit like that. So just take a couple of minutes to go and look through the entries and vote for your favorite one if you don't mind, everybody. That would be super cool. What else? Yeah, more comps over at Percy's. There's competitions all the time. So if you're not a member of Percy's, go over there and sign up. But I think that's everything for the news, right?
I think so.
I think so. Let's go for a smoke
Yeah.
break then. Let's go smoke break. What button do I press? Here we go. Yay! And I left that on the screen so I wouldn't forget. Look at that. These are all the entries into plant of the month on the wheel. And there is another wheel spin which we'll do at the end of the show as well, because we've got a coin flip and a wheel spin to do. Okay, so we're going to do the wheel spin and coin flip now, and we'll do a wheel spin later for the Savant's seed giveaway as well. So these guys all entered into Plant of the Month. Some lovely entries this month. It's a lovely competition. Lots of people have voted as well. So thank you to all those guys. Take the time to go out and vote. And if you haven't voted yet, like I said in the news there, just get over there and just put a quick vote in. It doesn't take long. But let's spin it. You ready for this? 3, 2, 1, spin. And the winner is, you get 5 monkey beans of your choice from the Percy's Vault, everybody. It's going to be Jammy Scott. Oh, look at that. Nice. Reasonably new member. Yeah, reasonably new member over the forum. It's good to see you win some beans, man. Congratulations, bro. You probably don't know the procedure, but what you'll do is you'll drop me a message, a private message over on the forum. And yeah, let me know where to send the beans and which ones you want. There'll be a link in Plant of the Month where you can press to go to the vault, see what beans are available, and you can just take your pick. I'll send you 5 of whichever ones you want. Just let me know. Congrats, bro. Congrats.
Sweet.
Right, quick coin flip then. Hold on for a second. Yeah, it's right. It's all there just on the screen now, so I might as well just flip it. You ready, everybody? 3, 2, 1. Tails. Tails is the winner, everybody, of that one there.
Who is that?
Yeah, I'm not sure who it was. I'm sure Turpo will be able to tell us. He's going to be in the chat there. So he'll be able to tell us who the winner was. Because there's only 2 people left. One person picked heads, the other person picked tails. So this is the, yeah, that's it. That's everybody done now. So whoever, I think it was, is it Growcat or something? I don't know. Oh yeah, I got it over there. Congrats. Let me click on here. No. Yeah, so it was Bassman. Yeah, Growcat picked tails.
Nice.
And Filmy Bowls, he picked heads. So unfortunately, Philly's out. And it's Bassman, a.k.a. Growcat. You know what to do by now, Growcat. You know what to do by now. Yeah, I've got to get to the fucking post office this week. I've got so many prizes to send out to people. I just hate going to the post office, man. They're so fucking shit. Inefficient motherfuckers. Yeah, I won't go on. I won't go on that rant again. But goddamn, but post office just takes the piss nowadays. Man.
I wonder if Canada's still on strike up there.
Margaret got her seeds that I sent to her.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah. So the strike is over. But even after the strike had finished, it still took like 3 weeks to get to her. Crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
It just seems like your fucking postal workers out all over the place. The UK has problems with the post all the time too. It's bad, man. It's bad. But yes, that's the coin flip. Yeah, so we're doing another wheel spin in a bit. But for now, yeah, let's chill for 10 minutes and chat some fucking shit. What's been going on crazy? There's been some crazy shit going on with AI and all that.
I've got some crazy shit to talk about.
Like, all right.
Like Nick Fuentes can go fuck himself, the prick.
Did
you see what he said? It is some like public commentator's dickhead in America. I'm not really sure.
The name rings a bell. Yeah.
But he's quite famous, but he went off against Cannabis Issues, saying we're all degenerate, lazy fuckwits and all that sort of shit. So you, sir, can go fuck yourself. And trust me, that's the sort of thing like Mike Tyson saying, "Oh, you'd say it online. Go and say that, what you said to Tyson's face about cannabis users, mate. Like, prick. Yeah.
That's
a bit ranty there, but yeah. Ignorance. Yeah, total ignorance. Fucking ignorance like that gets to my nerves. It's like, well, go and say that to the child who's just had that to fucking keep him alive, you cock muncher. Like,
and it's those people that are like that. I feel like they just don't know, and they don't know anybody, you know, like you're saying, like a kid, you know, and they don't want to know. Like, they just keep thinking it's just terrible.
Yeah. It's ignorance. They don't know all the facts.
Yeah.
They just want to be fucking dickheads.
It's not that they don't know; it's they don't want to know. You know.
Yeah, and it's not cannabis that makes you degenerate, lazy fuckwit. Sometimes you just might choose to be.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's your choice.
Tasty.
But like, it's fucking annoying when you hear this shit as well. Sometimes you think, "What, you complete prick?" Go and say that to someone like Tyson, then see what happens.
It's crazy sometimes because, you know, we're in the cannabis community, so we communicate with people who use cannabis a lot, but there's still loads of people out there who think cannabis is the devil's fucking lettuce, and one cannabis will kill you. you know, and it needs to stay illegal for the safety of the children because they might eat the buds. You know, there's still people like
Nothing
that out
happened
there,
to them.
loads of them, and we just because we associate ourselves with people in the members of the cannabis community quite a lot. You know, we can get into not necessarily an echo chamber because that's not the case. It's just it can just seem as if people are more friendly to it than we actually realize, man. There's still people who
Right.
don't like cannabis, you know, madness.
Yeah, still people who are still brainwashed as fuck, and some of them are quite intelligent. And you think, how the fuck can you reach that conclusion? You're not
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you're smarter than this. How can you
Yeah,
not
that's
Well,
what I
it's
do
just-
mean.
your own research and look into it, man? Like,
And that is your own research. Nick Fuentes, you know, if you see him make an opinion about something, don't fucking listen to it because he's showing how ignorant he is.
yeah,
No, fuck him.
yeah,
Don't know
yeah,
shit.
That's crazy, man. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
On to another subject. Quick, let's go.
Quick, yeah. What's next? Quick fire something. We're
quick,
talking about
quick,
doing a conspiracy show. Are you going to talk about that now, or you think?
Yeah,
Billy?
yeah. I think we should. What do? Yeah, we should ask all the chankers in chat. Do you want another conspiracy show separate to this so we can just
That's
chat
right.
shit?
Making a different
And-
channel, so if we get flags on that channel for talking conspiracy stuff,
Right.
it won't affect the main channels. You know, I think that might be the way we're going to go for. You know,
I think that's a good idea, right? Like,
Yeah, and then
there's
we
a
can
lot of
start
guys
chatting.
that show up to it.
yeah, man.
Yeah, because there's loads of conspiracies which aren't talked about, and I suppose because it'd be like I'll be running the channel, man. It'd be you can say what the fuck you want, man. No, I don't
Yeah,
care
man.
about flags and shit. It'd be like, yeah, man, I ain't in it to make loads of
You
some
never
money
know.
out of this shit.
The first
Yeah,
episode
nah,
might
even
be
then.
reading the full unredacted files from the JFK.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
great,
I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah, there you go, mate. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's all this interesting shit to come out. So yeah, I think we need to talk about that. Really,
I don't
and
think it
smoke
will,
weed.
man. I don't think it will.
I don't know.
It
don't
would have
know.
happened already because it was close to being released and they made it fucking. They censored it again, didn't they? They didn't want it to. They made it fucking what's it called? Made it top secret again, and then
Right. Classified it.
yeah, there we go. Yeah, we classified
Yeah.
it still when it should have been released, and that just goes to show. It tells me that it's not people who are alive that were involved so much because they're all passed away by now, but it's organizations that was involved in this process. In my opinion, allegedly YouTube, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Fuck. But
Yeah, it'd just be interesting to find out where they go with all of this new stuff coming out. So yeah, but that's what I mean. We need another channel so we can actually discuss our opinions on this openly because obviously,
Yeah.
cannabis
doesn't
and
get bombed.
conspiracies go together, one on one, really.
Yeah, so join us. When's
Only
the
because
first one going to be, Billy? Do
lots
you
of
think?
We've got to decide on days, but the first.
Yeah, we'll figure out show
Saturdays or
structure and shit like
Fridays
that
and
as well, I
Saturday,
think.
Yeah,
We need to figure out
it'd be the
because
yeah,
it'd be good to have a
soon.
specific thing to talk about, but then like have a listener mail as well at the end of it, like half
Right.
hour,
Yeah.
40 minutes dedicated to a JFK conspiracy or moon landings, and then shit
Yeah,
where
yeah.
people just ask for shit at the end as well. I think that would be the best way to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah.
Sounds good, everybody. Yeah, subscribe.
that
We haven't got the
sounds
channel
good.
up and running yet, but you know,
But yes,
You'll find it.
subscribe and like.
that's right. We'll let you know what goes on as we
Yeah, man.
progress, and we can chat some conspiracy shit. I was talking about moon landings the other day with the wife because you know I put Joe Rogan on while I was asleep, and then the next day the missus was like, "What Joe Rogan episode was you listening to yesterday?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know." I put the Lex Friedman one on, but she was saying that there was a guy on there talking about the moon landing conspiracies, and she wants to listen to it again. But you know, when I fall asleep and he just carries on playing episodes, I'm asleep. I don't know what it's playing, you know. So she was listening to one that I wasn't aware of. And I told her to check out the Bart one, the guy Bart, I can't remember his name, who spoke specifically about moon landing conspiracies. But she says that wasn't it. So fuck knows, man. Intrigued now. Like, yeah, man, that moon landing
Be on your
conspiracy.
history.
On Spotify, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Be on your Spotify history. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
your play history.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, just I enjoy talking conspiracies, man, and there's so much to talk about as well. We need to focus on some UK conspiracies as well, because I thought it's like the most of the conspiracies you hear about are from the USA. It's like we have some here as well, you know.
Yeah, yeah, we've got a few.
but nobody hears about them. That's the thing, right?
That's
Like,
right,
they're
and I think that benefits our
broadcast out
government.
there.
It's like, oh, we can do what we want. They're just interested in the USA ones, you know.
not-
Yours are always well written, you know.
Oh yeah. I don't know about that.
That's just a fucking a B B movie, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna grab a beverage, so I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was
There's
just
some
gonna
good
say,
B movies,
I
goddamn.
could hear you getting to the end of your beverage.
Did
there,
you hear it?
'cause
No,
it's
there's still a little bit left.
echo.
but
Yeah, I was gonna say echoey, and you've got the small bit in the bottom. You've got like a swig and a bit left.
You can tell by the tone, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an empty beer sound. It's a nearly
Yeah.
empty beer sound. Yeah,
Is
back
that
in 2
still the
minutes.
same stuff or what?
Not that I know that sound, but
This
I
is
know that sound.
coffee stout, man. Coffee stout. It's fucking
The
delicious.
coffee stout.
Coffee
Yeah.
stout. Yeah. But yeah, back in 2
I
minutes.
like a stout over a porter, man.
Yeah, what do you Americans get, like stouts and ports
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that over there? Like,
Yep.
what is it popular? More popular than beer, or is it just beer?
No, beer is definitely more popular. You know, it's not like you can go to the liquor store and there's like a whole shit ton of selection. You know what I mean? It's usually like,
Ye-
you know, Guinness was the first real one, I think, that was over
Yeah.
here. You know, and the first time I had a Guinness, I didn't like it, man. But then I got introduced to other ones, and when I started brewing beer, you know, I met more people, and those people were making that stuff, and man, I've made some good ones.
Yeah, most of the
Tasty.
home brewers in the UK seem to make stouts and ales and stuff rather
Yeah.
than beer. If you know what I
Right.
mean, probably because you can't really buy that many stouts and ales. But there's more micro brewers now because of that who are selling all the ales and stouts. So there are more of a selection now. Because that's always one thing about the UK. You do have a large selection of beers when you go into even just the supermarkets.
Right. I mean,
They're getting more exclusive, but they used to sell loads of but there is a large variety of alcohol, like
Right.
a whole long shelf dedicated to just alcohol sort of thing.
It depends what store you go to, but you know, you go to most of your regular sized liquor stores, man, I find that there isn't a lot of that there. You have to kind of hunt for it, or you know. But all the other domestic beers and stuff, oh my god, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
So
I can
many
imagine
kinds,
just
man.
like all the Bud Light everywhere and was
shit.
it Coles in it or
Coors
Coors?
Light, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and all
back.
that
There's so many, dude. There's so many Keystone. And I mean, they're owned a bunch of them are owned all by the same main
mind
company.
you,
You know
I
what
think
I mean?
I think it's Aurora or Tilray. One of them lot has just bought a beer company, and will be making cannabis beer.
Yeah, a lot of that's coming around here.
Yeah,
man.
so I assume that's the next thing coming.
Yeah, a lot of people I talk to really like those THC drinks, whether it's a beer, or it's
even using because you use hops. People use hops in it when you're brewing beer, and it's the same family as cannabis, the Cannabis plant. So you can use cannabis in place of some of the hops when you're making alcohol for a home brew. Be interesting.
Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for from it, you know. But yeah, it's crazy. I never did that. I wish I would have made a beer and used. And maybe that's this year. Maybe this year, me and my buddy will do that.
What the fuck? I'm gonna do it this year.
Try that.
I'm gonna make a beer this year.
Yeah.
I've grown mushrooms, grown weed, never made beer. So I think that's next. I'm gonna give that a shot.
It's a process. You gotta wait time though. That's
same with weed though,
I mean,
right?
it's growing is too, but a lot of people just think, oh, we can make beer and it'll be done, you know.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
About 6 weeks.
No.
Less time than to grow.
Yeah.
Unless you want to make whiskey and shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it can
But the
take
longer
years.
it sits, man, the longer it sits, the better it is. Every time, you know. Except for some of them IPAs, you can bust those out pretty quick. You know, because you're wanting that really hoppiness to it and stuff.
Yeah.
So you get that, you know, yeah.
Delicious.
Yep.
Anyway, we all got drinks and everything. Ready to move on to the.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's it then, everybody. Yes. Anyway, we're talking about some seed making then. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's get your juice on.
We discussed it briefly on one of the listener mail episodes. Where I think Firetop asked questions about how to get seeds to germinate because they're so fucking expensive. Because he said he wasted like 9 out of a 10 pack, and when each seed is like $5, $5, £6 or something. It depends, around that price. It depends where you're getting them from. Can be more, can be less. But when you're buying a 10 pack, that's fucking 50, 60 quid. And if it doesn't work out, then
that sucks, man.
Yeah, that's really shit, you know? You just
Yeah,
50
yeah.
quid thrown away like that. That's a bit of a piss take. But if you were to make your own seeds, just for one grow, you can get hundreds, maybe even thousands of seeds, depending on how big the plant is that you've grown and the process that you've used. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, you know, because if you can not, if you don't have to spend money on your seeds anymore, it's a big chunk of money saved, you know, especially when you're growing quite a few plants. So, and it's a nice way to preserve genetics as well, you know. If you've got some good plants you want to try and save the genetics of, that's a way to do it as well. But yeah, man, it's just you can do guerrilla grows, like throw out 100 fucking seeds in a guerrilla grow and not care if they pop or not. You know, like, okay, I might get them back, I might not get them back. Don't really care. You know, and with this as well, we're not talking about like hermy seeds where you've accidentally hermied a plant and, you know, you've got 1,000 seeds.
You do not want to spread those around.
Yeah, I mean, you can if you want, but you best not to, really. So you want to have the good shit. And we're going to teach you how to make the good shit today. How to make feminized cannabis seeds specifically. And we're going to go through the process there on how that's done, how it all works, you know, so yeah, and how many you can expect to make out of certain size plants and all that shit. Everything you need to know really about making your own feminized seeds will be in this episode. And we encourage everybody, if you can, to give it a shot. You know, if you just make a shitload of your own fucking beans, man, and you don't have to buy beans. It's not like you can't. You can still go out. You can go to the fucking seed bank and be like, "Oh, them fucking White Widow look really good. I wanna grow some of those Mephisto beans there." Then you can do that too, but you know, it's better for it to be an option rather than being forced to buy a shitload of seeds that might not even pop. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to talk about today, making some beans.
The one nice thing about it too is, I mean, you can share them, right? Like you can trade them back and forth between your friends and stuff. You know, I'm growing this, you're growing that. You want to try this? Give me some of that. You know?
Yeah, send them into Perseus, man. If you got some good fems that people want to grow out and shit, we can send some of them out to people. We've had quite a few growers now who've come and made up their own beans and sent them out to people. Yeah, you were one of those, weren't you, John?
Yeah, it's a fun time. It's good. Man. I like it. I like it a lot.
So when it comes to seeds, then we did have an episode that specifically went through what seed does what. You know, what are regs, what are fems, what are autos, and all of those kinds of stuff. So if you're unsure about any of that, then do quickly go and check out the episode. I think it's like episode 4, episode 3, or episode 4, really early one in the Grow Guides. And that'll teach you everything you need to know about what seed does what. What we're talking about here, specifically making today, are feminized seeds. Because if you wanted to make regular seeds, it's pretty simple. You get a male plant, you get a male plant, you get a female plant, and you flower them. So they both start growing their flowers, and the male plant will pollinate the female plant, and they'll make seeds. But those seeds, half of them are going to be male plants, half of them are going to be female plants. And the majority of the time, with people who grow cannabis for personal use, they'll most likely be using feminized seeds because they're far more likely to be feminized, you know, female plants when they grow. And that's because of how they are specifically made. So that's why most people are going to opt for the feminized one. Instead of growing 8 plants in the chance of growing 4 males and 4 females, so you throw the males away, keep none. 4 or none, exactly, that's it. It can go either way. Or you're left with 6 females and you got to kill 2, and you just don't want to, but you have to really, because you ain't got the space. It sucks. No, shit like that. So it saves nutrients, saves space, saves time. So if you're a home grower, mostly you're going to use feminized seeds. So that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to be focused on how to make those feminized seeds. So you've made feminized seeds before, haven't you, John? Hello, John. Uh-oh.
And control.
My bad.
Oh, cool. I was like, oh no, is it my internet? Is it his? Shit.
No, it was me. I am now for the first time making fem seeds.
That's right. So, I've seen your thread over on Percy's on how to do this as well. Yeah.
It's a process and it's cool, you know.
Yeah. So what is the whole process there? How'd you go about making what are the main methods of making feminized cannabis seeds?
Well, I mean, you want to pick the plant you want to use. I mean, like I chose the plants I wanted to use, right? And you want it depends. I am doing it with two clones from the same female plant, right? So one is I chose to reverse, and the other one is going to be my seed making plant.
So that's selfing, isn't it? That's S1s.
See, and I went on a whole rabbit hole trying to get information about what S1s are, what R1s are, what you know, all the different
R1s.
differences
I
of
don't know what R. S1s are when
reverse.
it's. Oh right, okay, reversed. Okay,
So
interesting.
self is, as I understand, self is where you use the same plant to pollinate itself. Okay. Reversed are like, say you have a Gorilla Glue and you have a White Widow, and you reverse one of them to pollinate the other one. That's how I understand it.
Right.
I could be wrong. Somebody could.
No, because that's how standard feminized seeds are made. Isn't it? You're just reversing one by changing one from a female plant to a male plant. Well, kind of a male plant. It grows male flowers, but it's still a female plant. And then those
Right.
male flowers, you use the pollen of that, which is essentially female pollen, to pollinate a female plant, and it makes female seeds. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
That's the
there's-
they're F1s, F1s and F2s. Is it when you reverse a male to a female? No, I don't know.
F1s are male and female.
Oh,
So
are
you have
they?
a male
Okay,
plant and a
okay.
female plant. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so the R1s you would be specifically for feminized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as I understand it, I got a lot to learn on it yet, but that's how I understand it.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of this terminology out there when you get into this whole cannabis breeding thing.
Yeah. Yeah. it's
Essentially, you like I said there, you just you're making a female plant grow male flowers so that you can use that pollen, which is female pollen, not male pollen. And
right.
yeah,
It's not the same as herming.
I seen he said F1 is first crossed different genetics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not like a cutting. They'll be from different seeds. F1s. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
There's back crossing. There's all kinds of stuff, man. And I guess the way you reverse the female to get the male pollen is, a lot of people use colloidal silver, or they use the silver thiosulfate, which is a couple things mixed together. Colloidal silver, I think, is a lot cheaper, easier to get.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, it's a lot more spraying. You have to spray more often, like throughout the day, what have you. And then the silver thiosulfate, you mix that up. And on mine, I only had to spray my banana cake probably, I sprayed it 6 times.
Right.
You know, every other day about. So yeah.
Is this from where you flip it to flower straight away? You're spraying it every day for 6 days.
Yep. Yeah. I gave mine a couple days to kind of transition a little bit from the light, and then I started spraying.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm this time, the next time I do it, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flip the one that's going to reverse first. Right. Get it going ahead so that it has a chance to get ahead of the female when it starts to flower.
Right. So, and you mentioned that there's the silver thiosulfate and there's colloidal silver as well, right? But the silver thiosulfate is the one which people prefer to use because it's done faster with less sprays, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems that
Woody
way.
helped me make mine. He gave me his recipe.
And what did you make? The silver
over at
thiosulfate,
Percy's.
did you?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And
was it
was
difficult to
literally
make?
2 things.
How'd you
No,
make
it wasn't bad. I mean, here, let me grab it real quick. I'll tell you. I mean, it depends on how much you want to make, and I've seen a lot of different mixtures out there.
Yeah, how much do you need to make for one plant? Say you're gonna reverse one plant. How much are you making? Like 500 milliliters?
Well, I mix it up at 500 milliliters.
Right.
Each bottle, though, right? Like I mix up 500 for each of the silver nitrate and the sodium thiosulfate.
Right.
So that I don't have to mix it up a whole bunch of times. And I think with the banana cake, I probably went through, I don't know, maybe it was less than 100 milliliters, but I was kind of going crazy spraying, So yeah,
Shitloads,
yeah, I sprayed a bunch, but if I would have been doing colloidal silver, I think I would have been through a whole bunch.
So how much have you used altogether to fully reverse the plant?
It was less than 100 milliliters.
All right. So yeah, not much at all.
Yeah, it wasn't like I have it's like a 30 milliliter spray bottle that I have, and I filled that thing. Well, I no, it might have been way less than that. It might have only been like about 50 milliliters because I filled it, halfway, like 3 different times or so.
And so you don't have to just make these. You can buy it online, innit? There's places that sell the silver thiosulfate and colloidal silver that's specifically for this as well. So have a look online if you want to buy some of that, everybody.
Yeah, I debated doing that because the stuff I bought cost me less than what it would have cost me to buy one bottle of the spray.
The stuff you made.
Yeah, and I can make a whole bunch more. Like I can make so much.
So what was the process of making it again? Do you want us to quickly run through that?
Yeah. So, I mean, my recipe is you take some of the sodium thiosulfate and you mix it with distilled water.
Where do you get the sodium thiosulfate? You just buy it as that?
Yep. You buy it online, like Amazon or
is it a certain percentage or something? Just
I'd have to look and see what mine is. If you look it up, it's pretty much going to give you the one you want.
Right, okay.
Because they're all pretty much the same. And there's I think there's 2 different kinds though, and I can't remember what they are, but we could probably post that up later too. But yeah, it's I make up like 500 milliliters of each of them, the sodium thiosulfate and the silver nitrate.
The colloidal
silver nitrate. Yeah, no, the for the STS.
What's the silver nitrate for?
You mix it with the sodium thiosulfate.
Okay.
So ST is the sodium thiosulfate.
You don't just spray nitrate. That. You got to put 2 things on the plant.
Yeah, so you mix them separately, right? And then you can just store them in your fridge. Right. And then when you decide you're going to spray, then you take them out and there's a mixture of like 1 to 4 parts, of silver nitrate to the sodium thiosulfate that you mix together. And you need a little bit of like dish soap in there too, just like a drop or 2. And then you mix that up and that's what you end up spraying.
Okay.
But it's not, I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's actually pretty easy to make. And you'll have a ton of it,
Yeah, man. So you spray that on the plants when the flowers start to show, right?
I started before. So I started before they started throwing really any pistils. Like you could see like 1 pistil, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
coming out where you would check at the node. Yeah. But yeah, I just started spraying right away. And then as it started to flower, you'll kind of notice, oh, here's a sack, and then you just keep spraying, and pretty soon that whole little spot that's usually is a flower is a male flower.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a simple process, and it sounds intimidating at first because you're using all these different chemicals and shit, but they're easily sourced and easily mixed. And I think I've never done it myself because I've never had the space. I'm always growing cannabis for more my own consumption rather than anything else. So, but now I don't smoke so much and don't use so much. I could do a run for seeds. When I get the grow back up and running, maybe I don't know. Maybe because I'd like to do it, man. I'd like to just get some fucking good genetics and try and make good copies of them, but it's the space you need to test them all out afterwards. That's the big problem. You want to pop 100 beans and see how they all go.
That's a real person making seeds, 100 beans. You know what I mean? Like I'm like when I made my F1s, I think I popped 12 to find 6 females to narrow it down to 2.
How many seeds did you get from your first run?
Per plant, let's see. I think 2 of the plants I got about 400 seeds off of, and then one of the plants I got somewhere around 600-700.
Damn, it's a lot of beans, man.
And those are regs. Those were regs though, so
right.
But and those plants weren't that big. I grew them in a 1 gallon pot. And see, you can do this, guys, in a solo cut. The plant doesn't need to be huge. It doesn't have to take up your whole tent if you don't want it to,
So you only want to get like 50 beans is plenty, but
Yeah. Oh
that's
God.
just out of
Yeah.
one bud, isn't it?
Yeah. And if you're making feminized seeds, yeah, they're all going to be, female seeds. So, you have, let's say you have like 8 nice little bud spots there, and you get those all pollinated, you're going to have a crap ton. You know,
So you're
you'll
saying,
never
Billy?
have to buy them again.
Billy, have you ever made beans?
No, that's one thing I've never done. It's interesting watching other people make them, and the other interesting thing is popping them and growing them for them. I've tested quite a few out, which is that's what I like doing. If you know what I mean, is growing people's and giving them feedback on how their plant structures are, so they can just get a note on different stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the growing of different ones really, rather than the making the seeds.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, I can imagine that, seeing that. Yeah,
because it's really awesome making your own cross like I did, or reversing, a plant that you love to grow, that's, that you think is top notch and you want to keep around. You want to keep it there, but the hate part of it is having to go through the whole seed process, where you really can't, unless you got the space. You're that tent is for making seeds, period. You don't put anything else in there, no other plants, unless you want it seeded.
I don't know,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I think the worst part, I mean, if you think trimming's bad, imagine trying to get all the seeds out of the buds. Oh my God.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. You want to
Like,
sift for that, don't you?
Yeah, you just essentially, like how I did it is I dried them, like I cured the plant, right? Or dried the plant like I was drying it, and then I let it sit longer to just kind of dry out more. And you literally just grab a bud and you just start rolling it in your hands, and they'll just start falling out.
Nice.
But then you still got to sift it out of all the other stuff that broke off while you're rubbing the bud, and
Mission, man.
Yeah. There's some DIY awesome little seed separators out there.
Yeah. And you should definitely get some of those if you're interested in doing something like this. If you're going to make a lot of beans, just try and make the job easier on yourself.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a pain in the ass. But Jesus.
Yeah.
I've had seedy crops before where I've accidentally hermid grows, and they were just fucking full of seeds. But I was doing what I seen he said here. You just pull the seeds out as you smoke. But when you've made these seeds as well, well, let's talk about the stress first. The stress that causes the feminized seeds. You know what I mean? Like, because people back in the day, before the whole colloidal silver, before the whole colloidal silver and silver thiosulfate thing was used, they would make a plant hermy and use that to pollinate a female, and then that would make kind of feminized seeds, right? Something like that. What are you saying about this, Billy?
I'm not really sure about that, to be honest, mate. But I do think that's a bit pointless to do nowadays. If you know what I mean, because of the mod. It's like, why would you want to stress your plant out? Because then you get all sorts of different traits in your seeds. Then, so a lot of would be then hermy seeds, or so like I just wouldn't trust it so much. Maybe it's one way they could do it back in the day, but don't mean it's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, it's like the paper towel method. So that's what we had to do back in the day. Doesn't mean that it's a good method nowadays. You can just put seeds in the medium and it'll be fine.
I love the paper towel method, man.
Fuck the paper towel method. Fuck, I've killed more seeds doing that than any other way, man.
Really?
Yeah, I've killed so many seeds paper towel method.
Way, man.
It dries out.
I can't handle
dries
the
out, gets too
anticipation.
warm, fucking all sorts of things. You damage the taproot as you're moving it over. Man, for me, I just like to put it straight into the fucking medium, humidity dome over the top, and then just fucking wait, and it does its thing.
Yeah. No, I get it.
But yeah, so people used to stress out the plants, to make it hermy, give it different fucking light sequences or small parts or all sorts of random things, and they'd use that. And some of these feminized strains, I think, which one was it specifically? That came from a hermy. Yeah, it was Gorilla Glue, right? That came from a hermy.
Yeah.
And it was slowly bred out, but that hermy gene is still there, reasonably new in its genetic history. So it's more chance of that hermaphrodite gene expressing itself and becoming a hermit in your tent and pollinating your fucking crop and you didn't want it to. So it's just best to work with those ones that haven't been stressed. You know, the Kaleidosilva, silver thiosulfate kind of grows where the female plant has grown male flowers, but it produces female pollen to go onto a female plant, and then it's all female genetics from there.
Right. Right. I mean, even doing that is still stressing the plant, right? Because you're forcing it to reverse.
Yeah,
you know, but it's not the same as doing what they used to do back in the day.
Mm-hmm. What you do is you cut in ethanol out of the way the silver thiosulfate and Kaleidosilva covers the leaves. It stops them emitting enough ethanol, which confuses the plant and makes it grow male flowers. Right? I think it's something like that.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, the whole scientific shit behind ethylene. Ethylene production.
Oh, there you go.
It suppresses ethylene production.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then the female plant grows male parts, but it's not actually male. You know.
Right. Right. It's a female, but it's throwing those. And I'm sure when the first person that did it basically thought it was the same as herming, but it's not. It's not the same.
That's right. So when you've used it, what you're going to do, like John's doing now, right? He's doing this thing called salving, where he's taken cuttings from a particular plant and he's going to flower them both, but he's going to spray one and leave the other one. So one's going to become a normal female, as it would have done from the mother plant that it came from. But then the other one is going to it's going to be female, but because he's spraying it with the silver thiosulfate, it's going to suppress the ethylene production and make it produce these male flowers. And he's going to use the pollen from that plant to pollinate the female from the cutting, you know? So this is going to be S1 seeds, they're called. But they will be feminized, so they should all be female when they grow. When they get germinated, they'll grow up into female plants. But when you've sprayed the female and it's produced these male flowers, anything you've sprayed with this silver thiosulfate and Kaleidosilva shouldn't be used, right? Like you shouldn't consume the herb.
Oh yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Yeah,
that's why I'm choosing to do mine with smaller size plants, so that I'm not throwing. You know what I mean? Because I don't need a bajillion seeds. I just need 20, 50, whatever, and I'll do them small so that I'm not throwing so much away because I don't want to, smoke any of that or use any of that.
And you don't need a lot of pollen, do you?
No. It's one little minuscule particle floating in the air, man. Like right now, I have huge, well, for the plant size, huge male buds basically, and I don't see the pollen falling like I do in my regular male and female grow.
Yeah.
So like it's hard to know that it's actually happening, but if you watch the female flowers on the other plant, you'll see, because it'll, the pistils will start to brown up, and then soon the calyxes are swelling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you got seeds growing there.
Yeah, I've heard that before, where true males, like males from seed, will produce a lot more pollen than a plant than a female plant that's encouraged to grow male flowers, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's one male bud could probably pollinate like fields,
And this is why it's a bad idea to grow a male outside. If you're in a place where cannabis is legal, don't grow a male outside, because it might go and pollinate everybody else's fucking grow, and they could be using that for medicine. So bear that in mind, everybody. Yeah, be careful if you're growing the male plants outside. But what do you do with the pollen then, John? You say when the pollen has been made, in either way, in the feminized seeds or in a regular plant, how you collecting the pollen, how you storing it, how are you pollinating the female plants with the pollen? What's the story?
So okay, we'll start with how am I pollinating, right? So I'm doing just an open pollination, which means I'm letting the plants do what they do in the tent and just let it naturally move the pollen around to seed. Okay. The first grow I did, I actually grew the male by itself, collected the pollen to put onto the female plant. And the way I collected the pollen is I took tinfoil and I'd wrap it around the bottom of where the male buds were, and I would let it naturally fall, and then every once in a while I'd go in there and tap the bud, and it would, fall, and then I would then take those off, and I would put them on, spread them out on or I would spread the pollen out on like a cookie sheet, which, for the love of God, if you're growing, you have to be so careful.
Yeah, you know,
If
to
you're
get it on
growing
the
other
fucking
females
yeah,
and
yeah.
doing this at the same time.
That's why I've
But
never
you
done it. I've
wanna,
never wanted to accidentally pollinate one of my plants because it's so easy to
right,
happen. Yeah.
right. It can happen, especially like here in America, we have a lot of forced air furnaces. So like right now, my
Right.
furnace is blowing like crazy and sucking air from everywhere.
Mhm.
Well, one time having the door open wrong or whatever can send that pollen through the whole house. But yeah, so I put it all out on a parchment paper, and then I let it dry for 4, 5-ish days.
Oh, really? Well,
And
you just
then
lay the
yeah,
pollen out.
yep, right on, just on parchment paper, kind of like if you were making hash, and you spread it out. So I cover it. I usually cover it with like a paper towels or something, just so that if there is a breeze or anything, it's not going to blow it all over the place. And then once that's done, then I take it and I pour it into like a glass or a plastic container, and I put like a couple little kernels of rice in there with it, so that if any kind of moisture is still in there, the rice will pull it out hopefully. And then right into the freezer.
Okay.
That's what I do. Yeah.
How long does that last for? Like, what's the longest time you've had it and used it and still got seeds?
Well, I mean, I have the stuff I did last year, and I've used it since then. But it was only a few months that I tested. I still have it, but I haven't been able to try it now, and we're like a year out. But I'd like to try it again with that stuff, see if it works. A lot of people say that it doesn't last that long.
But it depends how you store it, doesn't it? If it gets wet, and if the UV smashes it too hard, so because there's been instances where it's tried to travel like from Spain to Gibraltar, and it can't go that far because it's too wet and too much UV hitting the pollen, which kills it as well. So it's less likely to pollinate at those kind of distances.
Right.
But if you keep it dry, keep it in a dark, cool place, and put it in the freezer, it should last a while as long as it's well taken care of. Just don't get it wet. That seems to be what I've figured out anyway, from what I've seen online.
Yep. That's how I know too, or what I understand too. And then like going back just a little bit, after I've, like, in the male situation where I grew the male by itself, that one I just ended up throwing out. I bagged it in the tent and took it outside. But this last time I did an open pollination, and when I was all done with the male and I knew that everything was pollinated and I pulled the male out, I sprayed the whole tent down with water, like a mister, to get rid of any extra pollen, hopefully make the rest of the pollen that's sitting in there not usable, so that as I'm going in there and then going up to my other tents, I'm not spreading it around.
Yeah. That's the big concern, man. If you're growing for flower and you want to make seeds at the same time, it's difficult to find that balance, everybody.
It is.
Do one or the other, really, unless you've got completely different growing environments, because that pollen spreads, it's been evolving for millions of years to be like that, to spread really fucking easily through the wind. And when you've got fans blowing, you've got extractors pulling air into your tent or into your grow room, and it's easy for something to get caught on the fucking little gust of wind there and make its way in. So just be careful of that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So once that shit's pollinated, then John, once you've collected your pollen, you've put it on the female plants there, and I suppose you just sprinkling it on, you using a brush to brush it.
I use a brush,
right,
like just a little
paintbrush.
Yeah, a little paintbrush.
Yeah, dip it in the pollen.
That seems to work the best. Dip it in the pollen, and don't need much on there. Like, you don't need to scoop it or anything. You just need to get it on your bristles, and then just go around the plant and dab all the little pistils and the bud spots, and
and they all turn into fucking seeds. Yeah, it's real simple.
Yeah, they do, man.
Yeah, man.
Seeds everywhere. So good.
And so once you've pollinated, so you've made your female plant turn into male, you've collected its pollen, but you still got that other female that's over there producing a normal bud. So then you've got all this pollen, and now you go and sprinkle it on that female. How long is it going to take from that first instance there where the female has been pollinated until you can harvest seeds from that motherfucker? How long is that going to take?
I run it like just like I'm growing it out for flower. I take it all the way to like if I was going to pull it to smoke it.
Right.
Maybe even a little bit longer, depending on how the seeds are looking. Are they dark? Do they have them tiger stripes?
Mm-hmm.
Another test is pulling one out and squeezing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
For sure.
You got to dry them out when you harvest them as well, too, right?
Yep. So after, like I said, I take mine and I hang the plant just like I'm drying it if I was smoking it. And then after that, take all your seeds out. You go through, you screen them all. And then I do the same exact thing as I do with the pollen. I put them out on a cookie sheet and I let them dry out for, I don't know, probably about a week or so, I suppose, is what I did. Because you don't want to just be putting them in a container when they're fresh,
That's right. They're wet. They can get moldy in there, isn't it?
Yeah. You're going to just ruin your seeds, man. So yeah, dry them out. And then it's up in the air of how to store them, I guess. A lot of people put them in containers into their fridge.
Yeah, I think we covered that in an episode, right? How to store them. Just a dark, cool place is always good.
Yeah.
Somewhere with temperatures isn't going to fluctuate very much.
Yeah. Out of humidity.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So how many beans do you think you've made in your time, John? How many beans do you think you've got?
Well, I don't know. So many, man.
Crazy.
I still have all those ones,
Mm-hmm.
And then I have another cupboard that I got I don't know, I probably got 200-300 seeds over in that cupboard also. And then now the ones I'm making now, I'm probably going to have another 1,000 seeds between all the 3 that I'm making right now.
See, and that's it, man. If anybody finds strains that they want to try and keep and they can't continue growing, because sometimes you can take cuts, keep a mom, and then keep a specific strain running. But that's not always an option. So making seeds is a good way to try and preserve genetics. The seeds you pop are going to be a little different all the time, because of phenotypic plasticity and all that shit. But it'll be close enough. It'll be close enough, man.
I find that if you have good plants to start with to make, like if in this case making feminized seeds, if you have good plants to start with that have been, let's say, brought down to like F6s or something and have been back crossed one time or what have you, and you make seeds with that, typically I think and I see that those seeds are going to be so dang close to each other, like they're just going to be the same, man. And that's kind of what I look for and why I'm reversing the plants I'm reversing.
Yeah, that's it, man. Interesting hobby. I'd love to give it a shot. Is something you'll do in the future, Billy? What do you think?
I'm unsure, really, to be honest, just because the extra space I'd need, because I'm always flowering. So yeah, I doubt it. Just because I know a lot of people who are, so I don't need to. I can get good seeds, so it's sort of like it's not a needed basis. So maybe in the future when the laws change in the UK.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's much easier when it's legal, in it, and you can do these things. Not fucking worry about it so much.
Totally. But the illegality makes it awkward.
I mean, look what they said in the news there about those guys with their sophisticated cannabis operation. Imagine having fucking all shit set up. You got one male, one female. Got this cannabis breeding farm.
It's like fucking hell. A few cuttings and shit.
For international illegal seed sales.
Oh my Jesus!
50 years.
In a schoolhouse.
Because you make 2 seeds in a sock, like.
Brilliant.
Crazy.
But it is crazy, man. It is crazy. But man, to make seeds, I would love to give it a go one day. Like Billy says there, when the legality changes, hopefully, it all seems like a pretty easy process. You just have to be a little bit patient and have space for it, innit? I would like the idea of maybe not doing it with clones, but popping 2 seeds from good breeders. You know, like some fucking guys who have put loads of work into their strains in the first place. And so you start off with good parents, you're gonna get good fucking seeds. You know, if you just start off with the good shit, then I would as well, when you're trying to convert one female into a male, like you said there, John, do the male a little bit sooner, or the female. You know, so you're getting the pollen when the buds are gonna be well developed and ready for them, right?
Right. So I want the pollen sacs to be ready to go when the other one starts flowering.
Right. So you flip the one you're gonna turn to male first.
Yep. I'm gonna do that the next time. The first time I did it, I flipped them both at the same time, and that's what made me come to that conclusion. You know, because the female was throwing pistols hard, you know, already when I still didn't have any sacs really growing, you know. So get the reversed one ahead of the other one, so that the other one has plenty of time to make the seeds and mature the seeds.
Right. Yeah, man. Nice. So what, any downsides there, Billy? Can you think of any downsides of making your own feminized seeds?
Yeah, you could like only want to pollinate one plant or one branch and ended up doing your whole fucking grow. So yeah, or you could be pollinating in one tent and then forget to wash or change your clothes and walk into your flower tent and then pollinate, all just because of cross contamination. So yeah, it's you've got to watch for lots of things like that. You've got to be right on the ball sort of when you do it, for sure.
Yeah, especially when you're growing flowers that you're gonna smoke.
Yeah,
with your breeding tent as well.
Exactly. So, like, if you're just breeding for seeds and nothing else, then you ain't got to worry. But if you also got flower intent, like you have to be well, like, on the ball on it.
Yeah. So you know that episode of Breaking Bad where he's like only in his underwear making stuff?
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's exactly how I was the first time I made my seeds.
That's why I wear my socks.
Man.
There you
I
go.
would go do all the stuff upstairs first, come downstairs, get naked, go in there, mess with that plant with all the pollen, and then I'd come out, shower, and get dressed.
Yeah, man.
I was so scared.
Has to be done. It better to stay like that as well. Yeah. Stay overcautious with that shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice and easy, really. If somebody has space and it's something they want to do, I mean, it can sound complex and that can be intimidating in the first place. But I think it's one of those things that once you start doing it, you're going to see how easy it really is. And you won't regret it. You know, you got all these fucking seeds. You're sitting on 1,000 seeds, man. You're never going to have to buy seeds again unless you want to, you know? And you can go plant gorilla grows, fucking 10 seeds in each spot. Be like, let's see how this works out, you know? You know, you don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, I've got 10 different spots with 10 different seeds in. Didn't cost me a fucking penny. Instead of buying 100 fucking seeds, you know, how much is that going to cost? Damn.
Too much.
Yeah, don't want to play those games, man. So it's a nice way to save money. It's a nice way to, you know, guaranteed female plants as well. Because making regs is same kind of process, just without the whole feminized process going in there. So you can do that too. And some people say it's the better way. You know, you should be growing regular seeds, but it's a matter of opinion. So, you know,
I mean, you're not looking to sell them, right? You're not looking to make them and put them out there on the market. That's a whole different story, you know. And the people that are hopefully making feminized seeds, you know, for seed banks and stuff, they've been doing it. They know what they're doing, you know.
And they put the research in. You know, and the tests after that to make sure the genetics are good and all that shit, you know? Yeah. That's it, man. And you can trade them as well. You know, you got loads of beans. Like, I'll trade you fucking 50 of these White Widows, 50 of those Northern Lights. Let's go. You know, people are willing to play that game. I seen it in the chat there said, I've not purchased a seed in the last 5 years. This community is amazing. You know, and that's it. When you become part of the cannabis community, you really don't need to buy seeds. There's so many out there, you know?
Yeah. It's really, like, in my opinion, if I haven't bought seeds in probably 3 years now, but if I'm going to, it's because I want something specific, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Not because you have to. Not because
Right.
you're like,
Not 'cause
oh, I
I
can't
have to.
start a grow unless if I can get some seeds. Like,
Right.
no, you need to start a grow to get rid of some of these seeds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
So get on it, everybody. You know, make some beans, man. And if you do, make sure you got a diary up and running over on Percy'sGrowroom.com as well, because we want to see your progress. You know, the whole process in which you do it, what you're crossing. That'd be super fucking cool to see. Maybe we should make some specific breeder bling. I think for those guys who do
there you go.
breed cannabis, and make some special breeder bling for you guys who make seeds. If you can do a diary and show the whole process of you making those seeds, then yeah, man, you definitely deserve bling for that. So if that's something that you do, show us. And I would say we'll send you seeds, but you don't need any.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It's like, no, please don't.
Send them in and let people try your
Yeah, that's another
what
way.
you
Yeah,
made, you know.
which lots of people have done in the past too.
Oh yeah.
Because there's that many, you know. It's crazy to think that these guys, you know, they're selling seeds at fucking £5-10 a piece when they've got
So
fucking
crazy.
4,000-5,000 from one plant. Crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not selling
It's
the bud
nuts.
that makes the money. So if you can get into a fucking seed operation like that, make seeds professionally, damn.
Oof.
Flour got nothing on the cost of beans. Fucking hell. You know?
No.
Yeah, just firing up the mighty here.
Uh-oh.
I mean, that's about it, really. Anyway, you got any questions here, Billy?
No, not really. Seeds are just quite straightforward in a way. You just got to decide whether you want to do it or not, and if you got the space, and if you know what I mean. So it's another step in the evolution of growing, isn't it? If you know what I mean. So
Right.
a lot of growers out there will never grow and make seeds, I think, just because it is a bit awkward in the space, especially in illegal spaces.
Yeah, that's it. When it goes legal, I think it's a lot easier for people to do.
Yeah, a lot of people are experimenting now as well with it as well, so you don't need to as much because there's so many strains available, so you sort of don't have to.
But
so
I like to think of it sometimes like, you know, like as a prepper. I'm not a prepper. I should be. I think we're all a little bit of a prepper, but not a proper one. I don't have a bunker and shit like that. But, you know, when the world collapses, you see how I said when, right? Bear that in mind. When when the world collapses and we don't have the society that we have now, cannabis seeds will be a currency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you got a fucking shitload of cannabis seeds with all these fine genetics, man, yeah, it's gonna be a very important thing to have around. So just to have a few thousand cannabis seeds, just in case.
I think
why not?
I think what would happen in that situation is that we'd go back to the way it was.
Yeah, and
You
in
know
the
what I mean?
apocalypse, you just like if you got a gun and someone's got cannabis seeds, then well, the person with the gun now has cannabis seeds.
True.
Yeah, so
I mean,
what are you going to
but
trade?
I think it would go back to where we'll be just walking around and seeing it everywhere again.
Yeah.
That's what I would like it to go back to. You know what I mean?
Damn.
But then there'd be a lot of males about when you get a lot of cross pollination.
We're going back to sensed weed, won't we?
Yeah.
But still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they grow weed as well. Yeah, maybe the seed storage for future currency in the apocalypse isn't really a good idea. Thanks for bringing that to my attention, everybody. Yeah.
Maybe cannabis seeds would be like the old tulip bulbs and be worth your house one day.
Good point, Billy. Good point. But with that, we have a couple of listener mail questions. Should we get to those?
Probably should do.
Do it.
As they sent them in.
They've been waiting, I'm sure.
That's right.
Yeah, they've been waiting patiently.
And we got some conspiracy kind of ones. So let's get to them. Let's do it. So Turbo sends in here. Thanks for these questions, Turbo. You know how we like these kind of questions, bro. We appreciate it. And we do have a proper grow question coming up in a bit as well. So bear in mind, you just have to wait a little bit for that. But this is an interesting question all the same. Ready? Are you ready for this? What are your thoughts on smart cities? Are they being built to serve as a new age digital prison? Do you believe any of the latest natural disasters are declared state of emergencies are connected in any way? Nice, Turbo. Right, so smart cities, just in case anybody doesn't know what that is, this is like the whole 15-minute city thing, right? Where they're just trying to bunch everybody into a 15-minute city where we're all going to have everything we need within that certain area, and we can't leave and people can't come to the cities unless you got digital ID to go from one to the other for a specific reason and all this shit. Some
So
World
gross.
Economic Forum stuff, you know. It's I'm not too sure how I feel about it. What do you think about this, John?
I mean, it really depends on what they mean by smart cities, man. Because you hear all the bad stuff that turns into a conspiracy situation, right? So, I mean, like, I'm all for making stuff smarter, but like, how crazy does it have to get? And then his, I don't have a like a statement on the prisons part, but like, are these disasters connected? Well, there's been a lot of questions about the whole California thing right now.
Yeah, let's not go into
And
conspiracy
that
theories.
happening.
We know what happens then. Fuck.
He asked. So I'm giving my opinion, kind of. So it's like, maybe, maybe they're connected.
What do you think, Billy?
I think the smart city stuff is that the technology side of it is obviously a good idea, but like the implementation of it is a bit sort of draconian, sort of saying everything's within 15 minutes of you, so you can't go any further. You're going to need a pass to say why you're in the next section, basically, because it's all about carbon footprint and stuff. So it's about you don't need to go any further than the 15 minutes. What do you mean your girlfriend ain't in this zone? She has to be. If she ain't, then tough.
Yeah, it's all about control, isn't it?
Yeah.
It seems like it's all
So
about
it's
control.
about control.
Because initially
the
it seems
technology
sorry
is good. Yeah, you just like the transport systems and all of that, and the biodiversity of it all, and like using modern technology with plants and all of that. It's like, yeah, that's good, but no, it's all about control, really. We should have all the technology without the 15 minutes bullshit.
That's it. That's what concerns me the most, is because essentially we have got nothing to hide. You know, who cares if they have all the fucking information? Who cares if they're using it for our benefit in some way? But when it comes to the point where we have these archaic drug laws that have just been going on for so long, where they can come and prosecute you because of the choice of herbs you fucking inhale, then that's a problem then, because they'll use that information to come after you for things that have none of their fucking business. You know, if you're planning to commit actual fucking crime, then sure, yeah, do that. It's good for them to have that kind of information to prevent the crime from happening in the first place. But when somebody just wants to consume a specific substances that makes them feel a specific way, that's not in their right to infringe upon, as far as I'm concerned.
No.
And that's where my problem comes in when it comes to the the amount of data they collect from us and shit. So some of it's none of their business. If they're going to use it in a detrimental way, then no, they can't fucking have it. I don't mind when Google are like, oh, can we get this information of you so we can come up with more personalized ads for you? I'm like, yeah, please do that. You know, collect the data, because I want to see ads that are applicable to me. I don't need to know fucking ads about bras and shit, because I don't wear them. You know what I mean? You know,
just tampons.
I feel like it still happens though, man. Even
sometimes people do, yeah. You know. Jesus, sorry, yeah.
Holy, but yeah.
So yeah,
no,
I just don't trust the government at all, man. I'm sure you're aware of that by
That's
now.
surprising.
Yeah, yeah. I never knew that about you, sir.
Yeah, it's a new thing. I'm just coming around to it. Yeah, it's just a piss take, you know. I don't trust them, so any kind of power that we give to them, they are going to use it to their advantage and not ours, man. So then go fuck themselves. When it comes to the natural disaster things, I don't know about that, man. I think it's more down to incompetence than anything else, you know. And maybe that is like a planned incompetence. Who knows? But I don't think it's really connected in any way, other than maybe climate change. I don't know. I really don't know. There's so much bullshit spread on all different sides from all different angles about absolutely everything nowadays. I'm skeptical of most of the things that I fucking see. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I believe about 10% of everything I see or hear.
Yeah, that much? Wow.
Yeah. I'm good. I hear a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, I don't believe anything nowadays. Fuck 'em. Unless it makes sense to me.
Well, right. But then I'll go look. That's what I mean, though, I guess, is I shouldn't say I believe, but I listen to about 10% of it, and then I go figure out, like, and if it hits me, I'll go check it out and find more information,
massively skeptical of 100% of everything I hear.
Yeah.
You know. And
Like,
just
the only
filter
thing
out
I
what you
trust the
can from there.
government with, like the only thing I trust the government with, is to tax the fuck out of me. That's about all. Like, yeah.
Yep.
That's
Cannabis
the
for
gist of it.
37% tax in Washington State.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, you seen this online safety bill that's coming here to the UK?
Holy.
It's just you're just seeing
Scary as
things
fuck.
evolve, man. From we saw, it's gone from in just less than a year in the UK, they started to put people in prison for things they were saying online, right? You know, and it's like, and but people could kind of agree because it was a case of, oh, they've incited violence, so we need to do something about it. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't incite violence. It's terrible, you know. And then it's like, I think it's still shit to lock people up for that. It depends on how many people they're fucking inciting violence to. You know, granddad from down the fucking road with 6 followers saying something fucking crazy shouldn't get 2 years in prison because nobody's fucking reading that shit or believing it anyway. But somebody who's got millions of followers saying something crazy and trying to incite violence in that way, it's a little bit different. But even that, still, I don't like infringing
who gets to
speech.
determine that?
Exactly, you know, I don't trust, because you got to give more power to the government for them to make up these rules and now use it against us. So I don't like infringing on freedom of speech in any way, you know. But now it's gone from, somebody was arrested last week. I heard on the radio this week. Somebody was arrested for saying something online that offended somebody, and that's different. You know, it's like sticks and stones may break my bones and all that shit. Remember that? Remember when we used to say that back in the day? It's like inciting violence where people could potentially get hurt is one thing. But when you're just saying something that might hurt somebody's feelings and doing prison time for that shit, that's a little bit fucking different, man. That's far beyond the fucking line. We shouldn't be doing things like that, in my opinion.
So I should start questioning whether Starmer and Zelensky swap soggy biscuits because they might get offended.
You are in the UK. Don't fucking do it. Not worth the risk. Don't say a thing.
Yeah.
You know. They're coming for us at some point. After this online safety bill's passed, goddamn. Go and take a look at it. Anybody in the UK who hasn't looked at it, go and take a look at what's going on. It's scary. They
1984 laws being passed right there. Chinaization.
Yeah, man. Like servers will be shut down and shit if they've got a specific kind of website on it that they disagree with. You speak about it against the government and they'll shut certain things down. You know, all in the name of online safety. You can't trust them with anything. You know, it's like in Australia, they've recently passed the law of you have to be over 16 before you can use social networks. And it's like, yeah, we can all agree with that. And this is what they do. They do things that we can all agree with. Like, yeah, we can agree kids shouldn't be on social media if they're under the age of 16, maybe even under the age of 18. But as a result of doing that, you have to prove with photo ID who you are when you go onto the internet. So not only do you lose your anonymity, but they have all of this fucking details of all the sites you're visiting, what kind of things you're saying, what kind of things you're buying. It's like, come on, man. It's it's just not the way we should be heading, is it? I don't trust these government motherfuckers.
Isn't it? And this is the people that come out with Starmer paint, the stuff that covers everything up. Like,
nice. Only needs one coat, one thin coat.
Yeah, exactly. One thick coat of cover up.
Fucking hell. Yeah, man, went on a bit of tangent there when it came to the fucking declared emergencies and shit. I hope that answers your questions there, Tapo.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think that might have done. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything to add? This is why we need our own conspiracy channel. We're going to do that soon. Don't worry, everybody.
Yeah.
But anything else to add to any of that?
I think I forgot what the question was now. We ran into
Yeah, so next, Skinny P. He's got a question for the panel here. He says, Q for the panel, which is how I know it's a question for the panel. I don't really want to spend the money on a dab rig. That being said, what is your preferred way to consume hash? Billy, this is definitely where you should start, mate.
That's a Billy.
Best way to consume hash without putting it in a blunt with your weed or cannabis is probably a vape, Stalks and Bickle vape. But then again, that's spending money on a dab rig, innit? So you sort of got her in a way. So unless you want to roll it up into a blunt with your weed, then the old school hot knife it. But you can't do that in the middle of like the woods, can you? So
can if you got skills. Not watch Bear Grylls, bro. Bet Bear Grylls can do it.
You can't do that when you're floating on a kayak unless you've got proper skills.
Yes, you can, man. Gosh, of course you can.
So
I ain't ever going camping with you, Billy. This is not the only reason why I wouldn't,
exactly.
but this is just one of them.
Right.
You know,
That's just one of them. Not the main reason.
yeah, I'm not falling asleep in the vicinity of Billy.
No.
Wake up with my socks gone. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right then, back to the subject of
Yeah,
hash.
yeah. Back here, back to
I
hash.
think if you're gonna do like if you want a dab rig, then you're doing sort of concentrates. I'd go for the Dr. Dabber, the mini one, because
Yeah, that
that's
seems to
quite
be
cheap,
very
150
popular.
quid,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like that sort of price you can't go wrong, sort
Yeah,
of
man.
thing. It's
Mm-hmm. Very
it's a
popular. I've seen
dab
loads of
rig,
people
but it
using it.
isn't like a big bong and all of that. Like it's like a mini little thing you carry around with in a carry case. So yeah, that's where the route I went down.
Well, I just
Just
want to
'cause it's
add
cheap
fucking,
and
because he
does
says
the job
I
proper.
don't really want to spend the money on a dab rig, and it's like, look, Skinny Pete, after you've gone and grown all this cannabis for yourself and the money that you're going to be saving from not buying it, you deserve one, bro. So don't fucking
Right.
just be like, I'm not buying it. I don't want to spend the money on it. You deserve to spend the fucking money on it. Buy yourself something nice sometimes, man. If you want a fucking dabbing rig,
Yeah.
bro, get a fucking dabbing rig. You deserve
Yeah.
that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what is it
And
really?
the question really is what kind of dabbing rig is he wanting, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I mean, like I have a small glass bong that I bought for just smoking flower.
Mm-hmm.
However, I walked right into the smoke shop and just bought the replacement dab bowl for it, popped it in, and I got a torch and I can dab right there. I don't have to I didn't have to buy a whole different setup or anything, just just
Yeah, man.
one
Yeah.
bowl.
It's a good point. Yeah, you don't need to buy a whole new bong for it, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Just a bowl, yeah. Just the dab bowl bit, yeah.
Yeah, man. If you're
Yeah.
there hitting
I don't
rosin
like
and
the
shit, bro,
blowtorch, so
you can fucking just put a little bit of money aside and grab yourself one of those nice dabbing rigs, bro. Spoil yourself. Addy Bongo's got loads of cool shit like that, so go and check them out. We got a discount code for them as well. Was it 10-15% or something? I'm not too sure. So go and check it out. We can get the discount codes over on Percy's for
10.
them.
10.
It's a 10. There you go, man. Just check it out, everybody. Save yourself some money as well. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't know what to get because I don't dab, I don't consume a lot of cannabis navadays. So dabbing, goddamn, even one hit will fuck me up, man.
Oh yeah, I died the first time I dabbed, man.
Yeah.
Holy, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, man. And I looked like one of those guys on the videos that takes like, oh, I'm gonna do a 1 gram dab, and then they end up dying and they're drooling, and that was me.
Yeah.
Off of just a tiny dab, like. I thought
And Skinny, this is just the opinion of just us three on the panel, but over on Percy's, there's hundreds of people that can put their opinion into this for you. And these are people who are going to be like, oh, I bought this rig and this is the shit. You should really go with this. So, to get more of a detailed answer on this, I think you should start your own thread over on Percy's in the paraphernalia section. And, man, you get loads of answers of people using actual devices that can give you a good wide range of ideas of what might work for you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely give that a shot. And that's safe for anybody else. If you're out there and you're wondering the same thing, what kind of dabbing rig should I fucking get? Or any kind of paraphernalia or any kind of equipment for your grow room as well, then over on Percy's growroom.com you can just start a thread in the equipment section, and there's loads of people who help you out and come up with different ideas of what might work best for you.
That's how I got my vaporizer. How I decided on what vaporizer I was going to get. It was basically from everyone talking about vaporizers here and then telling me what they thought of, a riser or the other ones.
Yeah, that's how I got my Mighty. I didn't want to dab, and not dab.
Right.
I didn't want to vape because the vapes I'd tried previously were all fucking shit. So, no, vaping's not for me, man. It don't work right. And people's like, no, you got to try these stores and Bickle, man. This Mighty Plus, you got to give the Mighty a shot. Like, yeah, but it costs so much fucking money. It's like, yo, you won't regret it. Fucking
yeah.
And then I got a discount from Manny Bongo and shit. Got it. The missus got it me for Christmas, and then I tried it. It was like, okay, yeah, I can vape.
I didn't want to either, man. I couldn't believe it because I bought a cheap one first, and I was like, I get it, but it's not. This isn't good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna spend, the $250. Get a solo too.
Yeah.
And man, the difference between those two, night and day, and it's so
man.
nice.
And the solo
It's
too
the
as well from
flavor that gets
Ariza.
me.
Yeah, yeah, that's what gets me as well. Because as I say, I'm a lightweight. I can get high really quick. So just dabbing for a little bit gets me good and high. But the flavor is you can't even compare that shit to smoking.
Yeah,
It's
no,
nowhere near.
not even close. No, no. This banana cake is amazing through a vaporizer. It's probably the strongest, most flavorful one of any strain that I've grown in my house to go through the vaporizer. Like it just hits you different. It's so good.
Yeah, man. So, any questions out there from anybody in the chat? I think that's all the questions we have in the listener mail. We all had something to say about that dabbing rigs, didn't we? You know, pretty much go fucking buy one. Stop being stingy.
Yeah.
We'll start calling you Stingy P. That's what we'll do. Come on, Skinny. Go get yourself a fucking rosin press or something. You know, yeah, go get yourself a fucking dabbing rig, bro. Go on, spoil yourself. Spoil yourself. But yeah, so I think that's everything. Nothing else to add here. Otherwise, we're just going to go on more conspiracy tangents. Get ourselves some more flags.
Save those up for the show.
But yeah,
I've got a small conspiracy question. It's not too conspiracy, but
is it controversial?
Not really. I want to know why Tarzan never has a beard in most of the films and pictures of him.
It's a fucking interesting question, Billy.
Living in a fucking jungle, mate. Like, so that's what I want to know. He'd have some big long fucking beard, wouldn't he? Full of like lice and mites and all sorts of shit. But
you know what I'm saying? It's a good point.
Yeah.
Fucking Disney movies. Their inaccuracies. Damn.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sharp knife. I seen. He said maybe a sharp knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to be really sharp. And then who's making a sharp knife like that in the jungle? Not even Bear Grylls can do that.
Nobody.
Are you putting a sharp knife up to your throat and giving yourself a clean shave, are you? Would you trust a monkey with you not to give you a good slap?
You know, who showed him how to shave as well, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Never seen a human before, so maybe he doesn't even realize that he's supposed to be shaved. Or, you know.
If you're looking at monkeys and thinking, I've got a better beard than you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm Tarzan, mate. So, yeah. There you go. Why does Tarzan not have a beard? Enjoy.
Let us know in the comments, everybody.
Maybe he just can't grow it. There's that.
Yeah. Maybe he's got genetic disorder that stops him from growing hair on his face.
Possibly.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, yeah. Chris said Jane in the chat. Yeah, but that Jane met him with no beard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's right.
He was already clean shaven.
That's right.
That's why she liked him, because you could see his chiseled chin.
That's right. His strong jawline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Questions?
interesting question. Any more? Anything to add? I think that's it, right?
No.
I think we're good.
I think that's
and
good.
of course,
There
anybody.
was another question, but I'm not sure if I should ask it.
Where was it? From you?
What's better than roses on your piano?
Oh God, what?
Hold on, give us a second. Give us a second to think about it.
Yeah.
What's better than roses on your piano?
Yeah.
No. What is it?
Well, it's with reference to what we were speaking on earlier. It's tulips on your organ.
Right. You mean tulips?
Yeah, exactly. Tulips on your organ.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Whoa.
Oh, there you go. Red Eye Guna got it. Go on, Guna. Go on, son. He got it. Nice. Yeah, terrible. I should have just moved on to the fucking outro, shouldn't I, everybody?
Yeah, it's his own fault.
Let's go. Oh, look. We did the heads or tails one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to do a fucking spin. Oh, we've got to do a spin then. Oh, fuck. That's
Damn it.
Yeah, how am I going to do this? What's going to be the easiest way for me to do this? Fuck.
Up, down.
Left, right.
The 8-star.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're going to... I've closed down all them fucking windows. It's going to be a bitch to set it up. We're just going to have to do it... I don't know. We'll figure out another way. I'm going to take off this fucking heads or tails thing. There we go. We'll figure something out tomorrow. Yeah.
On another note, don't forget about Har and Hash Club starting next month. There's a link in the chat there for it. So yeah, and hopefully we'll have some conspiracy shit soon.
Yeah, man. If you want to talk about the JFK files, I do. Let's get that started as quickly as possible, Billy. Let's get the conspiracy streams up and running. Have you considered asking Brian as well? Maybe he wants to join us.
Yeah. We draw up a list and we'll ask about it.
Sounds good.
I think you just need to go right to Rogan and have him on the show.
I asked him loads of times. Joe Rogan's pissing me off, man. He's, cause, I listened to quite a lot of episodes of Joe Rogan, but recently, even though the motherfucker has got to be worth about 500 fucking million by now, I gotta keep fucking listening to the podcast 15 minutes after getting into the conversation. It's like, here's an ad from BetterHelp. I don't fucking give a fuck. Stop with the ads, bro. I can understand ads, man. Fine, he wants to make a little bit of money. Sure, I understand. But
is
that much?
Is that specific to the network though that he's on? Right? Like, does he even have control over that? Can he pay a higher subscription to not? Well, surely. Get ads?
No, but it's him saying it. It's not like a little random ad. It'll be like Joe Rogan saying this is sponsored, but he never has somebody else's ad on his podcast. He'll be reading all of them, proper ad reading shit. And it's fine, you can understand in your 3-hour podcast. Go on, put fucking 1-2 ads in here and there. But it's turned into like 6, 8 sometimes. I don't know. It's just too fucking many. You're getting into the conversation and shit, and then pow, here's an ad. It's like, fucking hell.
Yeah, then it puts you off the conversation. You forget what it's talking about, sort of thing.
No.
Yeah, it can get a bit wanky, that can.
Have you tried athletic greens? Like, no. I don't fucking care, bro.
I'm not in fucking America. I don't get your poxy fucking discount and shipping, you cunt.
Yeah.
It's true, though. Motherfuckers.
I see you says, Macky, you can just skip them. It's like, I don't want to skip them. I'm trying to sleep. So I got to get my phone back out. I got to get it, skip. I could hold down on the volume button and it skips 15 seconds. So I can do that like 6 times. But my phone vibrates as well. So it's like...
isn't it? Yeah.
Stupid.
And then it's back to the fucking conversation. Like, no, I don't fucking want that. Fucking... Sorry, I was...
You're forgetting when he goes like, hello, UK... When he goes specific,
hey UK,
it's like fuck off,
stop it.
Why don't you come over and see how shit our fucking country it is? You can't fucking UK in a happy voice. It's all right for you. You can say what the fuck you want, mate. Can't. Oh.
He has actual fuck you money, like a ridiculous amount of fucking money.
He has fuck you money. It's all right for him.
When somebody say, can we put an ad on your podcast, please, Joe Rogan? Say, fuck you, Joe Rogan. Try that sometime. All right, bro?
You
fucking go fuck you.
Sleeky motherfucker,
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong. I like Joe Rogan. I like his content. And, I know a lot of people find it controversial and shit like that, but it really doesn't bother me. I just enjoyed the conversation. But the fucking ads, you're pissing me off, bro. I'll go listen to something else.
I hate any show that has ads like that. I just hate it.
But listen to other
when
ones.
you're trying to sleep.
Yeah, that's it. When you and the ads, the volume on the ads as well, just fucking, it's like 10 times what it was. So you're just sitting there chilling, you're like, don't even realize you're listening to something, and then all of a sudden, hey UK, fuck.
The same shit happens with TV commercials too, and it makes me so mad, man.
So you just turned up at an all-night rave with the advert volume going for-doom.
Like you have to turn the TV up to like 52 just to hear what the hell they're saying. And then an ad comes on for a commercial, and then it's like grabbing the remote. And you're like turning it way down.
Even worse, in an action movie, they're talking at a normal volume, so you turn it up, and then the action scene starts. You got explosions fucking at 50 billion miles an hour, like booming across the room, like shaking your windows and everything.
Now there's a specific reason for that. I forget what it was, man, but there's a YouTube video that explains why that happens, why talking is so quiet compared to the fucking explosions. It's something to do with the digital way the whole soundtrack's made or something.
Because they treat you like cunts. That's the reason.
I think they're trying to get you to focus in on it and be paying attention. You know what I mean?
And then pow!
Oh,
They're like, wake the fuck up, you cunt.
Yeah.
something important's happening.
That's how they get
we
like
need
that
to scare the shit
factor,
out of
too.
you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We need to scare the shit out of you to keep you in
Wow.
condition
Now
of
it's a
fear.
nice, interesting tangent we went on there, everybody. Yeah. Yeah.
We don't go on tangents.
You know what you're talking about. We was
Yeah.
wrapping up the show smoothly there. Smoothly.
Yeah, that was a smooth,
It's perfect.
professional ending.
Yes, man.
Like we
But
was in
good
a
show. Good
massage
show.
centre somewhere.
Some good news articles there, of course, that we covered way back in the early parts of the episode there. And then, you know, the grow guides. If anybody has any questions or any news to send to us or listener mail or just random things, if you want to say anything at all, just let us know. Loads of ways to get in touch. Percy's Grow Room is the best way. So, you know, percysgrowroom.com. Free to sign
We're
up.
all over there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cookie says, "You got time for a game?" Of course I have, son. Of course.
Macky does. I got to get on the road.
That's right.
Head to town.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So if anybody is on Discord and wants to join us for Letter League, we're over there at like 9 p.m. GMT every day, for most days, for a quick game of Letter League. Come and join us sometime.
Don't let
That's
Macky
it.
cheat.
Should we wave? You
Yeah,
done?
may as well.
Anything to add?
Waving and all that
Right.
shit.
Bye, everybody.
I'll
Wave.
add. Hold on, I'm gonna put the music on, and we've got to professionally time it in, like. No, it's gotta be
Professionally
smooth.
fade it in and
Yeah,
shit. Like,
yeah. So, you know, hit up the Letter League and that. Keep your eye open on the threads over on percysgrowroom.com and find out when the conspiracy channel is starting. Because there will be a channel that will be beginning just so we can talk conspiracy stuff and not be afraid of having everything shut down. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, stay tuned for that. Stay high, stay safe. Thanks to everybody for coming to join us. Hope you had a good time. See you on
cheers.
Sunday.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.